Hello, everybody.
Yeah, we see Nerd is here and Munin is here,
Yeah.
and anyone else who cares to join us, we will
Anybody?
see.
Yes. Yes. Hope y'all had a very uneventful week. Hope it wasn't a lot going on. I'm looking down because I got an auction closing in 1 minute. So I'm up sitting here and babysit it and pray that I win.
Unbelievable. And of course, as many of you are aware, we did the Powder Springs today. We went to the retro toy swap. Although there's not much swapping going on, but it's the retro toy
Yeah, and
swap
there's a lot of
in
swapping
Powder
going
Spring.
on. Swapping money,
Money.
swapping cash.
And then we did pop over to Legion, and we
Yes.
did film it, but
Yes.
we did not do anything
We
at
ain't
Legion.
buying
We didn't
nothing.
really buy anything, but we'll do those progressively. See, Spike is here,
Hey, Spike.
and Nerd said he's been looking forward to this all week. Love the channel. Well, thank you. We're glad you love the channel.
Yes.
But yeah, so the Powder Springs video will probably be up tomorrow, and then the Legion video probably be up Monday. The Legion will be a lot shorter, obviously, because there's no pickups being shown at the end. Jay is here. Glad you could make it today. So, but we did do a little shopping at the Powder Springs, not as much as normal, but that's okay. Which is what Munin is asking. Did you find anything good at the show? Saw the anime vinyl short. Yeah, that's right, because I wanted to showcase that in particular because you never see that. Those albums were perfect. The anime vinyl soundtracks, and they were from the 70s and 80s. They were, I think, with the exception of the Dragon Ball Z one, they were all 70s and 80s. And Robert is here. Thought you were at a convention today. Yes, we were. I just haven't put the video up yet.
Okay.
And Nerd says, no, thank you guys. You're welcome. Uncarded is here.
Hey, Uncarded.
Chilling
How you
in
doing?
the studio. It is cool in here.
It's always cold.
Well,
in
it's good for the material.
here. Good to freeze people
Yeah,
out.
that's right. Freeze people out and they won't come down here and pester me. It is like, I'd love to hang around, but yeah, okay, bye. And they don't and I don't have to worry about them. Put well, I'll be leaving now.
Oh no.
No, not that. People do that. You got to be careful. Remember that one guy who has the Star Wars museum, and the guy who was helping him had been stealing from him for years and selling the stuff at auction, and finally got caught because he had something so rare people recognized it. Somebody recognized it, and that was a missile firing Boba Fett.
Yeah, and then how you gonna sell it? And it's like only 2 on Earth. You know what I mean? That was dumb.
Yeah, that was dumb. But he got caught up, and it's like, how you gonna, you're friends with this guy. That's what pisses me off. You're friends with this guy. You've been friends with this guy for years, and apparently you've been secretly stealing from him for years and selling his stuff.
And they said he stole like a lot of stuff from
thousands and thousands.
Yeah, because he had some rare stuff. And it stole a lot of stuff from him. So then when it came up, of course the guy knew it because he's like the only one on Earth that got it.
Yeah, and you know the one. It's the Star Wars Cantina guy. He's got like everything ever made. And C. Reed is here. He says about to have a bad tropical storm heading in.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's in the Gulf, not the Gulf. It's off on the east coast of Florida.
He's doing a live tonight. He says.
Oh, okay. On Movie Dogs. Yeah,
midnight.
Movie Dogs put up a lot of stuff. They usually put up stuff like at midnight, but I've been seeing them. Seem like they've been putting up stuff every day this week almost.
Yes.
Yeah, we got red font today. There.
He's asking if I'm going to get that Mazinger from the Bandai. I don't know because it is modern, so you know how it is. I don't want to.
You know how David.
I'd rather have the Popey. It cost a lot more. The original Popey version of that.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot more expensive than the American versions to find the original Popeys.
That's why you get the re-release. Sometimes you got to get the re-release because the original is too much. Just like with Brave Star, you get the re-release. Masters of the Universe re-release. But if the price is the same or the original is cheaper, get the original.
I'm tired of sucking stuff up. I'm getting old.
Compromise.
I don't
Life
want
is
to.
all
I'm
about
tired of. No, it's
compromise.
not. You know what you do when you compromise? You lose something. That's what compromise is. Screw that. I'm saying my way or a beat down. That's the level I'm at. Ornery old man
I
uh,
guess.
level is where I've reached. But again, we did the retro toy swap
Yes, we
from.
got some pickups from there. We'll show.
We
We
do
didn't get
have
a
some
lot.
pickups.
We really didn't get a lot of stuff from retro, and we
Hmm.
didn't get anything from Legion
Yeah, we
Con.
didn't get anything from Legion. We did film uh, real quick. It'll be a shorter video,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, it,
Thomas coming to the couple bases go.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting ready for October. Says see and read.
Mm-hmm.
Getting ready for October. We don't have nothing going on until October, do we?
No, yeah, in
Or not
September
October.
we
Yeah,
have
that's
the
right, September. So August we're not doing anything.
yeah, and I'm glad I saved my pennies.
Yes, and then September we're going to be up to our eyeballs.
Well, no, because we said that we might go to
Where?
that yard sale
That's right.
next week.
It's not exactly a yard sale, but it's hosted by a toy dealer,
Yeah,
and it's a way for him to get rid of his overstock.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a way to get rid of his overstock.
Yeah, those reissues,
Yeah.
sometimes that's what you got to do. And sometimes you got to do that with records too. And when we were at the last record show, I had said that because it was a guy there. He had a lot of the modern presses of old records,
Mhm.
but some old records like Pink Floyd's, your Beatles, your Led Zeppelins, the original pressing can cost well into the hundreds of dollars. But if you get the Walmart one or the one from Target,
Yeah,
it's
that's what
right
I
up
was
your
saying
alley.
about the She Wants Revenge. I wanted the She Wants Revenge on vinyl. If I was going to buy the original one, it's going to be up there. But even the repress is expensive.
Yeah,
But the repress is like around $50 to $80. But the original pressing would be a lot more.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it just depends. I just get weird when it's toys. Yeah.
But let me show you what I picked up.
Okay, let's show you
Only
what we
thing
put. Oh, you
I
got it.
Robert was saying, yeah, same price as a vintage is easier to find for now.
Well,
Yeah.
it might be the same. It depends on the condition of the, if you're comparing it to the Hasbro, but when you're going to the Japanese version that has all of the accessories, the wing pack and everything, that's going to be up there.
Yeah.
That's going to really
But
be
I
up
think
there.
like with those Japanese at Mazinger, it might actually hold its value or go up in value. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gonna try to do a 3D theme show on Friday the 13th in October.
Oh, the
On the
movie dog show. It says see and
oh,
read. Okay.
okay. Well, since the be Friday the 13th, maybe you can do that.
The Three Stooges did a 3D thing.
Yeah.
Munin says, thankfully, they have their money saved up. The amount of import figures coming out in the next few months is going to be outrageous.
We saw a lot of anime VCR tapes today.
Yes,
But
we
this is
did.
what I got. I only got records today at Retro. I got 5 records.
Okay.
So I got this one, the Everly Brothers. I know, right?
It's all right. They're
The
not bad.
Everly Brothers. This is them
Yeah.
when they're older. So I don't know if this is all new music. But I really like the Everly Brothers. So when I saw this, I just picked it up.
And just ignore those prices because that guy bent over backwards.
Yeah. Pink Floyd.
Yes. War Pigs.
Yeah. And anytime I can get a Pink Floyd
Piggy.
cheap, I'll get a Pink Floyd record. I want to get all of them, the originals, but like the Wall, I got like a bunch, I got like 4 copies of the Wall. And I always get the Wall when I buy out
A lot. Yeah.
is always in there. But I guess that was the cheapest one. So everybody had it. Lisa and the Cult Jam.
Yes.
The Righteous Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing spectacular.
Sure. Well, if you enjoy it, then that's all that
And
matters.
the Everly Brothers when they were young. And I actually have this one, but mine is in terrible shape.
Look at that hairdo. My God. that big DA. What's that?
Now this stuff I got from Value
from Value
Village.
Village.
The Ventures.
The Beach Party, man.
Beach Party. I got a bunch of them. They sing doo-wop. You know,
Yes.
you gotta like it. Reverend James Cleveland, because I grew up on James Cleveland. I like his stuff. I watched his documentary. I'm just like, man, I don't think I should listen to his music anymore because he was kind of nasty.
He was a bad dude.
Yeah, he was pretty
as
nasty.
you can tell, we're not locked into a specific genre of music. That's Seville.
Yeah.
Keep you moving. Moving. Keep you moving.
And Seals and Croft.
Okay.
And these are the things that I was able to get today.
Hooray. What did Robert say? I'm surprised you didn't get some of the anime records. He'll be back. I didn't get any this time. I didn't get any
we got
this
some
time.
the last time.
But I there's a specific sound, a couple of specific things I'm looking for that he might have. But remember, they're all Japanese pressings.
Yeah.
You can't read them. You can't read them.
Well, maybe if you take a picture, Google to say, do you want me to translate this?
Yeah, I really trust the AI on Google to translate it accurately for me.
I really think about that Mazinga there, Robert. I mean, I could be wrong, but because Bandai is Japanese, they might hold to the true form.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
What I'm thinking.
I'm sure they're just recasting it, even though they're not the same company.
Okay. I got you, Seaweed. You are going. Okay. I didn't know they did Friday the 13th in 3D.
Part
3
was in
3D.
super 3D because that was a thing in the 80s, just like Jaws Part 3 in 3D.
No.
Yeah, that was a thing.
I only seen the first Friday the 13th and the second one. I saw
that was enough.
Freddy versus Jason when they were in space.
I don't remember which one that is, but yeah, I remember the one in space.
But okay, I saw the one when they were in space.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And that's it. I know that Friday the 13th got 40 parts, but I only ever seen 2. And then, like I said, the one with Freddy versus Jason in space. Now Halloween, I seen almost all of them except for the very last one that came out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Japanese imports, whether vintage or modern, tend to gain value over time if it helps. See if you can find that Mazinger for under retail.
Yeah, maybe someone's got it for $10. I'll jump right on it.
No, it says I love
vinyl. I love vinyl just holding the record and looking at the cover. Yeah. This is my vinyl record pickup from... You're laughing at me already. I didn't even do anything. I got this from Value Village. You can't find this. You think I'm kidding? Try to look up the Play School vinyl records like this. You won't find them.
You know why? Because nobody.
You know why? That. Because nobody knows who's in the zoo. Who's who in the Play School Zoo? You don't know. You know why? Because you can't find this. Okay? Although it does give you some precursor on the back there. Just an idea who you might find in there. I don't know why there would be a cat in the zoo.
I don't know why a wolf is in the zoo. Is that a wolf? Yeah.
Yeah.
And a rat.
I could see a wolf.
Them rats everywhere.
But
you don't
a
need
dog,
to put them
a
in
cow.
The zoo.
They have a cow in the zoo.
And a dog.
Yeah. That's
dog
not a rat, it's a mouse. Still. They always use a mouse. They don't use rats because people are scared of rats, but they're not scared of mice, even though the mice are worse. But yeah. Who's who in the Play School Zoo? I should do a live playing this. I bet you people want to hear this.
Nobody.
They want to hear it.
Nobody.
That's what I did at Value Village. We also picked this up because it's a vintage Tupperware container with the handle.
Yeah.
These are a lot of people looking for these actually.
I got 2 of them.
Yeah, this is her second one. This is her second one. These are really cool though.
Yeah.
Robert says, I'm happy you're getting some hot toys. I know you don't buy expensive stuff.
Yeah. I got
not typically.
I told you if that Joaquin Phoenix Joker from Hot Toys come out, I was getting it, period. Plain and simple. and it came out. I got in line. Like I said, I was number like 26, 2700,
Mm-hmm.
but it moved fast, you know, and I was able to get it. So that's just how that goes. I just laughed out loud
What are you laughing at? Oh, he's
because you got
laughing
that
at
ridiculous.
your Everly Brothers. That's what he's laughing
No,
at.
it ain't.
I
11
got.
Friday the 13th, 8 Nightmares, and
Uh-huh.
Freddy versus Jason. I used to watch Friday the 13th, the TV show Freddy's Nightmare.
Uh-huh.
I used to like Freddy's Nightmare and Tales from the Dark Side and Tales from the Crypt.
Friday the 13th, the TV show, that was that Canadian show, and
Hmm.
it had nothing to do with Friday the 13th.
Neither did
It was
the Nightmare on Elm Street,
yeah,
Freddy's Nightmare.
yeah, but it was a curio shop. It was an antique shop, and everything was cursed. And the guy was recovering all the stuff that his, I guess his brother or whoever used to own the shop was a bad dude
Mm.
and sold people cursed items, and they were tracking them down and reacquiring them so they could get rid of them.
No.
Munin says the reason the zoo has rats is because they don't clean the place.
No,
Yeah,
it's to give the animals a midnight snack.
yeah, that's right. They snack on them. They munch down on rats. Robert says I want to buy something expensive, but want something worthwhile. I was thinking about the Tomy Enterprise refit. Yeah, I've seen that. I've
Mm.
seen that. And who's this? Gilgamesh is
Hey,
joining us
Gilgamesh, how are you doing tonight?
just in time to
Mhm.
see, because I did a little bit of shopping at the retro toy swap, and I got this, and I thought this was cool. But Iron Man Mark III from the original movie Robert likes.
That's the only one he would buy.
At least the Iron Men from Hot Toys are die cast.
Yeah.
They are typically die cast. I picked this up, and no, it's not the General Lee. It's the Rebel, the Rebel, the Rebel, because it is a knockoff of the General Lee made by. Who can guess who this is made by?
Ertl.
No, this is
Oh,
all plastic.
I know.
Well, except for the little axle right there. Everything else on this is 100% plastic. This is a straight up 80s toy. This is one of those things that you would see a box full of on the bottom shelf at Woolworths for like $1 a piece.
Mm.
Who knows who made this? I want to see if anybody can guess.
Nobody
It is
knows.
it is the Rebel. The Rebel. It's got an interior. See, it's got seats and a little steering wheel. I don't think it would accommodate a 3 3/4 inch figure though. It looks too small. It looks a little bit too small for that. So
No, I don't remember Freddie being on Freddy's
I think he was
Nightmare.
a host. No,
At the beginning when he talked, it seemed like he only did that on the first episode, but I don't
I don't
remember.
remember it
I
either.
do know that at the beginning there was a host, but I don't think you saw him.
Yeah.
I think it was just like the voice. I don't know. I don't remember because I've been seeing it since it was out.
C. Reed says Friday the 13th was a precursor to X Files, and it was an excellent show. Yeah, I
Really?
liked the premise of the Friday the 13th show. I did not like the X Files. And Shelby Rockstar, he says, have been thinking about getting into 3D printing. Do you think it would be sacrilegious to print out a USS flag? That would be a lot of work. It would be very big. You know what I saw that's really interesting? This guy's been showing on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
He's 3D printing a Mazinger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I can't remember what scale he said it is,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be 9 feet tall when he's done.
9
and
feet.
it looks exactly like the first run Shogun Mazinger.
Where you gonna put that?
I don't know, but he's got space for it somewhere, I guess.
Wow.
And Robert thinks it's Ertl. No, it was Processed Plastics. Processed Plastics, the same people that made that Apollo rocket that I did the showcase on a while back,
Okay.
and as well as the space shuttles. Processed Plastic made a lot of stuff in the 70s and 80s, and cheap stuff that you would buy in Kmart or Woolworth or somewhere. But you show people stuff like this and they remember it, and they're like, oh, like that Apollo moon rocket video.
Mm-hmm.
There must be dozens of comments on there where people are like, oh my god, I think I had that kind of a comment.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, you know what, real cheap toy parents would pick up in a place again like Kmart or Woolworth and or Sears, and oh, this is only 50 cents, this is only a buck, here
Yeah.
Johnny, General Lee.
Yeah. Go play
and
with that.
and then you see it again when you're like 40 something and you're like, holy crap, I
Mm-hmm.
had this.
I have the Ertl generally. Ertl does
Oh
everything
yeah,
in die cast.
yes.
So I knew that wasn't Ertl. I'm messing with David. Freddie was the host of Freddie Night. He booked in.
Each
Oh, okay.
segment, okay.
Okay. I remember the host, but I just didn't remember seeing him.
Novsky thinks it's a Ford Maverick, or it looks like one. Munin says, from what I've heard, some of the 3D printed figures and accessories have a tendency to dissolve and break down fairly quickly. Over time, I have heard that. That's why one of the reasons I steer really clear of 3D printed parts, because I know, like, I've got a Shogun Godzilla that's missing a fist, which is
Mhm.
pretty common, the fist launching fist. And people, oh, you can get a 3D printed. No, no. In 5 or 6 years, that thing will start falling apart.
Mm.
They don't hold up.
Oh wow. Well, what about when you get all these custom heads for $400 and $500 and they 3D printing it, and now you got it sitting up on your shelf
Yeah,
and it just fall
it'll fall
apart on
apart.
you?
That's why you got to find a guy that's going to mold one for you. He's going to do a cast like your Barnabas. The guy cast the head for you.
Yeah.
So it's there's a big difference between somebody who's going to make a mold and somebody who's going to
3D
just 3D
print.
print something, because you can't rely on it. Gilgamesh wants to know if you are going to get the Joker from the McFarlane line.
No, I ain't getting it.
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't want that.
I'll show you some other stuff.
No
Pick up here in a
plastic
minute.
Knight Rider.
No, I
No,
didn't see one.
I want to
I'm
get the
sure there
Knight
is.
Rider. Excuse me. I would love to get the Knight Rider figures. I'm thinking
From
about.
Kenner.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting that line. It's a couple of lines that I'm considering, and Knight Rider is one of them, but they're expensive.
Yes.
And I keep holding out, hoping
You
somebody
never know.
would reissue it,
Yeah.
remake it. But I am going to get that Transformer Knight Rider crossover, though. I am going to get that. I like that, and I
Yeah.
like die cast cars. Not that
She's asking
that's
about the
going to be
Apollo
die
rocket.
cast. I have got the Apollo rocket. They must have had a load of orange
Yeah,
plastic.
and this is mine. That's my processed plastic Apollo rocket still on the card. Who you waving to?
Number
Oh,
one
Marvel
Marvel
fan. Marvel
fan.
fans here. And they cast them in all all kinds of different colors. The one I had was actually a total reverse of this, with white astronauts and a red capsule.
Mm.
So that, yeah, processed plastic did that all the time. But this is my set, and it's even got the Woolworth price tag still on it right there, $1.59 from back in the day. This is the kind of thing that sparks a lot of memories for a lot of people.
Eddie's physical media talk is here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just asking because I'm guessing you might have a channel. Do you talk about like records, CDs, DVDs, and books, and just having it in your hand so you can hold it and stuff like that? Is that
Physical
is
media
that
is
what
the best kind.
I know? Is that what your channel is about?
And who is this? Patrick
Hey, Patrick.
just joined us. I also got at the Retro Toy Swap. I got the Antican from Galoob, because I will go ahead and get Next Generation Star Trek from Galoob. I just don't want the Playmates because there's too many of them. And if I ever wanted them, they're dirt cheap anyways. You can find them at pretty much every convention for $5 or less. One guy had a whole box full for $50 today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, $50
what?
the
Their
whole
Star
box.
Trek stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you see that all over the place. If
Yeah.
you want to get into
Playmates.
something, you want to get your
Yeah.
kids started into something, just buy them a box of
I used to
their
have
Star
this
Trek.
whole set, and this guy, he had a real cheap price on this. I was like, okay, I'll grab one.
Kay Munion's friend made a 3D printed lightsaber in that less than a year, split in half, and it had some oil ooze coming out.
Weird.
What if that get on your figure? Now it's ruined.
I would cry.
Especially if that's an expensive figure. I mean, because if it has clothes, like some of the older stuff, it has cloth. It could stain it for life. You never
That's
sell
right.
that.
Oh, Hercules says he's got a set of that rocket with the platform with blue astronauts. Yeah, Plastic cast them in all kinds of colors.
Variants. Oh, okay.
Okay. Eddie used to make videos about vinyl records.
That's cool. We got a
We
big
got
old.
we got like a couple thousand vinyl records at least.
I'm gonna start doing like I filmed my haul from the day, and then when I tried to upload it,
Had some
it
issues.
had some issues. So I
Yeah.
got to film it again. But I'm gonna start doing like a weekly, just showing my records. I'll do it in alphabetical order, so it'll just be easier, not to overwhelm. Like
Yes.
15, 20 minutes long or something like that. Not an hour. Nobody want to look that long, but I think that'll be cool. I'm trying to
Okay.
find me a somewhere to catalog it. I think I found the app to catalog my records. You take a picture of the cover,
Yeah.
and then it search the internet, and you can.
Because they got one where you can scan a barcode. It's like, most vinyl
Yeah.
records don't have a freaking barcode, right?
Yeah, like 95% of my records, probably more than 95%, doesn't have barcodes.
Yeah, they don't have that.
But this one app, you just take a picture of the cover, and then I guess it looks over the whole internet, and then you can just add it to your collection,
Robert,
like on Pop Price Guide.
Robert says he thinks he used to have that rocket. That's what
Oh,
I mean.
yeah.
And that's what I love too. Is like when somebody sees something, it sparks a memory. Memory unlocked. Shelby Rockstar says, "Are you two also into movie props?
Mm-mm.
What would your favorite ones be?" We don't have any. I used to, and it was part of the collection that was stolen. Yeah, I know. I had props from Nightmare Before Christmas. I had pieces from Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, for example, in the town hall, they had these snake heads on the wall with a candle in their mouths.
Mm-hmm.
I had those from the film. I had a few pieces from Nightmare Before Christmas, but she got those too.
Who? Oh, yeah.
The person who stole them.
Mm-mm.
Marvel fan says issues for me is I love everything 70s and 80s, and I want it all. I understand because he's addicted. Just owning items from shows I love, I feel closer to them. It's crazy to explain. You don't have to explain it.
No.
If it makes you happy, that's it.
It's all. And guess what?
Yeah.
It's your money. You spend it the way you want to.
Yep.
I used to have that rocket.
Robert has to have the rocket. And Nerd says, have you got any carded Mego Star Trek? Only Uhura. She's the only one I got left. Because I used to have
Where is that?
Behind right there. See?
Oh,
like
yeah,
3
yeah,
o'clock.
yeah.
I used to have all of them because when I was collecting that stuff, it was cheap. I mean, Mego Star Trek figures were like $15-20 a piece.
Gilgamesh, that's probably good because like if you get the original anime soundtracks, they're more than $35. Didn't that guy
Those
stuff?
were like 20 to 40 a piece depending upon which one, but those were the Japanese pressings and they were from like the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, but so they were the original. Yeah, Walmart got the modern press. Yeah.
Marvel says he collects movie props. He's talking to somebody else. I got this also at the show. It is the book and record. Oh, okay. Marvel fan has 450 movie props. That's impressive.
Gosh.
3 stories: Mummy's Tomb, Spy Island, and Rescue from the Headquarters. Right. And this is the comic book inside. I might could do a video on this. It's got the whole comic is still in here. Appears to be unmolested. Appears to be, right? With all the stories. And then there's the record, and the vinyl is real clean on this. And I was like, that would be cool. I want to hear this. I'm gonna spin this when I get a chance. See?
Why do you use
read
that
in
term?
here? Because you spin a record. It spins on the turntable.
Anyway. The lights. Because I just say, I'm about to play my record.
David
spin the record like he's a DJ or something.
Vinyl. I'm putting it on wax because that's the new style.
The lightsaber he 3D printed was a replica size, and the oil like ooze was everywhere, and it was thick. Oh,
that's
what a mess! Yes, this is a mess, and that's a shame too, because you see that 3D printing stuff is very popular.
Yeah.
And people are purposely buying it to, and I understand it because it's cheaper. And for vintage figures, sometimes it's hard to find those pieces. So you get that thinking, oh yeah, this is just as good. And then you have that happen, it dissolves on you or
Yeah.
whatever. I've got a movie prop presidential pin from the first X-Men movie.
Okay.
Okay. The only, I don't know if you call it a movie prop. I got the batarang, the batarang and the grappling gun. I don't think that's a movie
Yeah, I
prop
think
though.
I don't know if he means stuff that's actually from the film or replicas.
No, he got replicas. He
He's
said
got
that.
oh, okay, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, the stuff I had from Nightmare was from the film. I got it in the because they auctioned all that stuff off, and I managed to get some pieces.
Hey, Jesse, he just
Jesse,
finished
say
his
what?
helping his sister and all. He must got a truck.
Maybe.
Because when you got a truck, people think, oh, she ready to help me move, or they ready
Uh-huh.
to help me move. I seen a bumper sticker. Yes, I have a truck. No, I will not help you
There
move.
you go.
Because soon as you buy a truck, somebody needs something moved.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not why I bought this.
I'll do another memory unlock for you. And I've done a showcase of this as well. This is also processed plastic.
That's a song.
What? If it
If
makes
it,
you happy, it
it
can't
can't
be
be
that
that
bad. Yeah.
bad. Can't think of the lady's name.
Look, it
Melissa Etheridge.
simulates
Sorry.
actual launch. And it is the Space Shuttle Columbia, right? In the box. And I have a couple of these because just like everything else, processed plastic did these in a bunch of different colors. I've got one of these where the capsule, this whole space shuttle's red. Instead, it's red and it's got silver and white um, um, fuel packs. And then on the back, it gives you all the specs of the actual space shuttle. But you might have had this as a child in the 80s. Your parents might have grabbed this at Woolworths for you to play with. You know what I mean? That stuff like this, it sparks memories for people. That's why I like it.
There's a guy that 3D prints Buck Rogers Starfighter and Hawkfighter for $200. They look good
Yeah.
for the figures, but now you got me thinking they won't last 2-3 years.
You got to be careful with that stuff. You got to. Munin says
they're not repressed.
Anime records at Walmart are not repressed. They're just vinyl records for modern anime.
Okay,
for modern ones.
okay,
I understand.
Gotcha.
And Eddie says to make sure to put a protective sleeve on that record. Yeah, I got a couple of extras. I'll put it on there when because we've only just got those today.
I don't have sleeves on my records. If it come with a protective sleeve, it has one. If it don't have one. What I do is I try to get the inner sleeves, and I have a bunch with no jackets, so I buy the blank jackets and write the names on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shelby Rockstar is talking about that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be
doomed
now.
Sounds strange, but I guess there was a comic.
There's a modern What If that kind of talks about that.
That's right, Sheryl Crow. Go ahead. That song.
What song?
If it makes you happy, it can't be that bad.
Yeah, maybe not. Depends on what you're doing. And Say What says, no truck, just a nice guy or a sucker. And Vercules says, one woman who was an animator on Nightmare was storing some of the full puppets in her backyard shed. Really?
Oh, okay.
Wow. And he also says those rockets are very nostalgic. Yeah. It's back then it was just the cheap rack toys, the stuff that, again, Kmart or whatever, and they didn't cost anything. Oh, Marvel fan says he saw the old photo you posted. How long ago was that? You look young. It was like 11 or 12 years ago.
Yeah, like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
We took that picture in Oklahoma at a ice cream shop.
Yep. We were on a little side trip, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Oklahoma.
Yeah, at a ice cream shop and took that picture. Oh yeah, you got to show that.
Yeah, I still got a couple things to show. This is something
else.
Oh yeah,
David not like me. I just show everything all at once.
It's all right. It's your time. People are showing up. This is another King Kong. This is an AJ Renzi. Oh, I see David McNichol is here, as
Mm-hmm.
well as Johnny Future. This is another AJ Renzi 70s blow mold plastic bank. But I have this one already.
Okay.
But anytime I can find an AJ Renzi that's not cut to pieces, because it's, it's just blow mold plastic that's painted. And that paint job on this one is still really sharp.
Mm-hmm.
It's still really sharp. You don't find them like this. Usually the seam is split because you can see where the mold seam is.
Mm-hmm.
The seam is split, or this is all sliced up where the coins go in,
Yeah, because you try to
or
dig that money out.
the holes cut out in the bottom or something. Anytime I can find an AJ Renzi bank that's not ripped to bits, if it's a reasonable price, I'll get it. Graphic Man is here. He says, "Great King Kong." And they did just like with processed plastic, they did stuff in all sorts of other colors. I've seen this in pink. I've seen
Oh,
this blue. That's rare. The regular colored ones like this usually don't cost as much, but weird colors can get expensive. Yeah, McNichol says it looks like he has lights in his eyes. It's the paint is so bright. And I'll get my other one here.
yeah. The
So I
other
can
one is
compare.
all faded out and
Well,
everything.
it's not that bad. It's just I think it's more along the lines of how well it's painted. Because these are painted with just some guy spraying on it. See, there's the other one, and this one's not bad either. You know, he's a little duller, but again, unmolested. It's not all cut out. It's not all dug out. It's not split. And they made these. They made a lot of banks. They made lots of animals like dogs and pigs and stuff like that. They made what Planet of the Apes banks. That you probably would remember them better if you recall seeing like a Spider-Man, a Hulk, or a Thing bust
Mm-hmm.
bank. That was AJ Renzi. Everybody has seen those, I think.
Yeah.
And they repurposed those busts too. By they had extras, so they cut the tops of their heads off and put a strap on them and made Halloween buckets out of them. But the AJ Renzi also made a lot of Halloween buckets. And same thing, like they made a skull one that's pretty famous. A lot of people have seen the skull bucket, but the skull bucket, they, between the color of the plastic or the paint that was on it, there
Mm-hmm.
must be 50 different versions of it.
Mm.
And the more weird and elaborate the color is, the more expensive it's going to be. Gilgamesh says, "Is that the one you have to break open to get the money?" No, this is
No.
vinyl, so you'd have to cut it. You'd have to slice the bottom open. You see, there's a depression here, a circle where you would slice it out. This
Yeah.
one you can see it better, I think, right there.
Yeah.
It says "cut to open," and so people would take a pair of scissors and they cut it, and it usually ends up being a square instead of a circle. Or if they don't want to cut it, they take this and they slash it and they open it up bigger on the top.
Cause they don't know you're supposed to open it from the bottom.
Yeah, or whatever. So most of these types of vinyl banks are wrecked.
Yeah.
They look awful. But if I could find an AJ Renzi bank that's still intact like this, I'll try to get a good price on it. And this was very reasonable price at the retro. And I was like, oh yeah, hell, I'll take that.
Yeah, coin banks are a thing of the past because people don't carry change around. Well,
No.
people don't collect change. I mean, I do. We got that water jug that you got at work. We
Yeah.
got one of those that we put coins in, and we just fill it up.
Okay.
And
Like this
yeah.
is an AJ Renzi Smurf bank, and it's it's unmolested also, but this
That
one's
one
got
still got
it's got change in it.
money in it.
I just it'll just always be in there, I guess, because there's no way I'm going to get it out because I'm not going to hurt this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is another AJ Renzi. This is one of the rare examples where you're not going to find variations because they
Yeah.
painted the Smurfs like Smurfs. Because although I think it would be pretty cool if they had like a green one or an orange one or whatever, but they didn't do that with the Smurf bank.
I like when you post videos around noontime, like the DVDs, cartoons, even though I was at work
Who said
watching
that?
them.
Robert. Oh, okay.
Robert's at work
I do. Yeah,
watching.
I'm getting into that because it's like figured out I can do it with my phone, and
Hmm.
I've got the neck rig that you put on, and that way I can have both my hands out.
Yeah.
And it took a minute, but because at the first couple of them I did it straight up and down, and I figured out how to get it because it was having difficulty navigating to landscape.
Mm.
But I got that working. But the very last one I did, for some reason, the comments just went off, and so I
Yeah.
kept going. But I was like, I didn't know if anybody was trying to say anything or not, because if I see comments, I'll typically try to say something. I'll try to respond, but the comments shut down. And somebody told me later, yeah, the comments kept going on that. And I was like, well, damn, I couldn't see them.
Yeah.
Hopefully that won't happen next time I try to do that.
What film would you like? Would you have liked had a toy line that didn't come out back in the day?
Oh,
Um.
a film that we would have liked to have seen toys for.
Hmm.
How about Silent Running? The three little robots.
I didn't see
You
Silent.
saw Silent
Oh,
Running, the
okay.
guy with the forest on the space station.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. That would have been interesting. Or Logan's Run. I would have
They didn't
loved.
do Logan's Run.
No,
Oh, wow.
no merchandising. I would have
Really?
maybe coloring books or something, but nothing else. I would have. Could you imagine a figure of Box?
Hey, Just Jeff.
Just Jeff is here. He says, "Hope you're having a nice weekend." Sure, we are. If we're together, we're having a nice weekend.
And even a TV show, because they had that solar vehicle
Yeah, that's
on the
right. That's
TV
right.
show.
Marvel fan says he needs to find the Thing Bank. The Thing Bank's a tough one. It
Mm.
is. The Box from Logan's Run, the movie. The guy that tried to freeze them. The robot.
Mm-hmm.
I am Bucks. I collect protein from the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Nerd says he's got some
Motionettes.
motionettes that should have made a Kong that would be cool.
I don't know what movie, because I mean, I wasn't into toys then. I mean, now that I think about it, I don't know if it's a movie that I would like toys for.
Johnny was saying he was going to get Aerosmith T-shirt, but
Oh, I wanted to mention that. I
they've
didn't know if I.
canceled. They've
Yeah.
canceled the show. Yes.
Yeah, Johnny had tickets to go to the Aerosmith final tour, but they just canceled it. Steven Tyler said, he just can't do it
He can't do
anymore.
it. His voice is he injured his voice again. It's just too
Mm.
much.
And you watch some of these guys, Aerosmith, AC/DC, whoever, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, whoever, and they just don't sound right. And it's like, man,
Yeah,
I
they
would,
can't do
and
it
we've
anymore.
talked about this before, but I saw recently that video of Angus Young from AC/DC still trying to do
You look
that
like a
little step
leprechaun.
that he does when he's playing.
It's like, dude, you're like 78. You look
Yeah, and he
ridiculous.
just looked, oh God, he had looked so bad. Because when you see video of him in the 80s, and he used to do that thing, that dance or whatever you want to call it, it was like, okay, that's cool. He used to roll around on the floor and do all of this and that there. And now he just can't do that no more. And it don't look good. And it's like you kind of feel bad for him. And that's how I feel when I see those wrestlers at the shows. You just feel really bad for them, because it's like you remember them how they were, and they still trying to do it, and it don't come out the same. Used to see the banks at Carnival a lot back then. Yeah, the banks were everywhere. I don't have any. I never collected banks. I don't think I even had one as a kid. I got the Hulk bank a couple of years
Oh,
ago
that's a gumball
and
machine.
asked you about it. Apparently there were two sizes. Mine currently is the smaller, but I used to have the larger one.
This is the one from Hasbro.
But that's a gumball machine.
It's a gumball machine bank. Gumball machine bank. But this is the one from Hasbro. And they did Spider-Man and the Hulk only, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But this is another one you might have seen floating around and not sure where it came from because it didn't have the cardboard header still attached.
Mm.
That's another cool one. I don't have the Hulk, though. I'm still on the lookout for the Hulk. It's hard to find them in this kind of condition.
C. Reed here says, my Batman piggy bank is going to be my urn. We saw a video of a guy. He was a big Star Wars fan, and he had a friend of his dress up as Darth Vader come and speak, and he was cremated, and they put his ashes in the lunchbox. You remember
Star
that?
Wars lunchbox. I
Yeah,
saw that.
in the Star Wars lunchbox. Hey, you know. Hey, William Randall.
William bought a Smurf book at Target.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I can't argue with Smurfs.
Yeah.
Smurfs are cool. I always had a soft spot for the Smurfs.
Oh, of
Gilgamesh has
Trunks.
Trunks from Dragon Ball
Mm.
years ago. Never seen another. He can hold a pretty good bit of change. Munin said, "Shake the Smurf bank upside down and slowly, and the change will fall out. It worked for me many years ago." That'd be kind of tough with that. Like,
Yeah,
it
but
looks like you can't get
eventually
a piece of
you
paper in
just
there.
got to do it like this and kind of
Another one telling me he loves the noontime videos. Trying to get me to do more noontime videos. Is that it?
in a coffee cup.
Don't
My
drink it.
my daddy would put his in the cup holder in
Mhm.
his truck, and I would take it. I
Oh,
think he would do it on purpose because he would, when I was a kid, he would put
uh-huh.
change in his pants pocket and hang his pants on the bathroom door. And then I would take all the change out. We ever since I was a
Oh
kid up to
no.
now, we had this little thing we did with change.
Yeah.
And he always threatened me, don't you steal my change. But then he would do it. And he knew I would take it. And then he would put it in the cup holder and I would search around. He would put it in um on a dresser by his bed, but he always knew I was gonna come and get it. He was never mad, but we always had this thing. And even as an adult, I would search the house for change. And he was like, I know you searching around for all my change and all of this. But yeah, that's the thing we had. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. That was a thing we had going. It was always funny.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Silly.
What's that word?
Shenron.
What's that?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
And Jeff says he has a question. You have a lot of collectibles. What's the two pieces you regret that you bought that you had to buy the complete X set, modern or vintage?
whoa. Is there some? I think it is. Seem like, I know for me, it seemed like we had unboxed something. And I was like, man, I don't know why I got this. I ordered it, and then you know how pre-orders is, and like a year or two
Mhm.
later it came, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want this. I don't remember though. I don't know. I think I kind of like everything I got. I almost felt like I was going to regret getting that Heath Ledger Joker because once it released and they said they were going to ship it, because I had totally forgot. I was like, oh shoot, I forgot about that. And I remember saying, when before we got it out the box, man, I wish I didn't buy this. But then when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this ain't bad.
Yeah. I've regretted a bunch of the of like the Mezcos and Hot Toys and a lot of the modern stuff that I bought,
Yeah,
because then you unbox it and you look at it and it's like, wow, the quality's just not there on a lot of them. That's why I did a lot of the unboxings.
yeah. The car from Logan Run, yeah, that was a cool car. That solar car they had.
Or Arc, it's Arc 2, right? Marvel fan, the name of the show, Arc 2, Saturday morning live action on CBS, and they had the monkey, they had the talking chimpanzee,
Mm.
and they had the there was a big survival vehicle, and the guy had a jetpack, and it was a real jetpack that they used on the show.
No, he just put his he strapped the phone onto his chest somehow or another. I wanted the vehicle from Damnation Alley. Damnation Alley sounds familiar.
I'm like the Martian from Twilight Zone. That's how come. Because you remember when he's sitting in the diner and he's got his cup of coffee and he puts a cigarette in his mouth, and then another arm comes
Arm
up out of
comes
his
out.
jacket and lights it.
Yeah. Damnation Alley Land.
Yep.
Damnation Alley sounds familiar.
Or the vehicles from what is the name of that movie? Death Race 2000.
The hunt begins.
Yep.
But that's a bubblegum machine. It's not a bank.
It's a bubblegum bank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Munit says maybe you both answered this, but are there any toy lines coming out you're excited for? He likes the Jazzwares Total Anime.
No. Um, Nothing's really coming out for me. I mean, No, it's nothing. Only thing that's coming out is that Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and I am
Yeah, I'm
ultra
not sure.
excited.
I'm not sure.
Mm-mm.
And Johnny loves the cartoon DVD video. Got to rewatch it and write a list of what he would like to get. I've got a lot of good ones. I've got a lot of stuff people never even knew existed because I've got some from 60s Saturday morning shows.
Oh, okay. Something from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
That's why I didn't know the
of
name.
course. I should
Yeah.
have realized. I know who that is. And C and Reed says, "What's the one toy line from a film that was totally unnecessary?" Oh, there's a lot. There's a
Toy
lot of
line from
films
a film.
that they made toys and figures from, and it's like, why did you do that? Like Babylon 5, nobody wants those. Or
Whoopi Goldberg from Star Trek.
no,
Yeah.
Guinan.
I don't know who she was. We saw that figure today, actually.
Guinan, yeah.
Hmm.
That's yeah.
I remember the Mezco reviews. Wish you would have kept them. I understand why you don't. Just wanted things to go a different way for
Yeah,
you.
it was too many times that I did want a review, and I'm like, God, this is just because there's some that were good, like the Popeye Stormy Seas set. That's a nice set. It
Oh,
really is, but
Johnny want to show see your scrap, the scrap on thing that you do to hold that phone.
I don't have it. It's in the office.
We got to see it another time,
Yeah.
Johnny.
William says a Cybertruck pulled up to the gas station yesterday. Man, those things are ugly. They don't make cars like they used
Oh,
to.
you talking about that Tesla one, that big ugly gray one? It's two riding around our town.
Yeah,
It's two different ones. One is bigger than the
the
other.
sand crawlers.
That's what they're called?
No,
Oh, I was about to say, what the heck?
somebody will get the reference. Gilgamesh says he went by his parents' house. His mother got a little Lulu lunchbox for her
Ah,
collection, and dad had some more Hess trucks. They love all the stuff like that.
Hess trucks never really took off. We went to an
Hmm.
auction one time,
They were
and they were
giving away.
almost giving
They
those
were
Hess trucks.
selling them in because they were bundling them in lots of like 10, 15, 20 just to get rid of them because
Yeah,
people weren't, they were like, okay, nobody's going to bid one money. And people were winning whole big lots for like $20.
yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't give that stuff away until they just put like all of them together. And it was a lot because he would get rid of one big set and then he'll bring out another big set. You're like, golly, what's up with all
Yeah.
these Hess trucks? They look cool, but they never took off for whatever reason. They just never took off.
Yeah.
I put my change in coffee cup. I have two coffee cups for change, one for regular change, one for
One for
coffee cup.
pennies.
Yeah.
Blue Splash says that Mezco canceled his orders.
Was able
uh,
to get a hold of them.
at least they
Wow.
didn't send yours to the wrong address. Don't get me going.
12-inch Joes anymore.
Oh, well, 30 is making them. 30 makes them 12-inch GI Joes, and Jeff says leave Babylon. I like Babylon, but the figures there was no point because it wasn't that kind of show.
Sandworm from Dune.
Uh huh. And Johnny says he wants the Golden Girls and Ninja Turtles crossover.
I don't think they should have made Golden Girls figures or Mego with like Facts of Life, Happy Days, that
Mego
kind
should
of
have
stuff.
realized because I know they were testing the waters at first with the new Mego, but they should have realized based on experience that their TV show style action figures, even to this day, are still affordable. Like with the exception of the boxed version of Fonzie, I think the the Happy Days figures are still cheap.
Hmm.
The Our Gang figures are still cheap. The Waltons,
Yeah.
the Love Boat, except for the playset.
Hmm.
The playset is actually pretty tough to get, but because they didn't make very many of them. But they experimented with doing TV shows a few times, and it just never worked out for them. So I don't know why they would do that again.
Only TV show. I mean, I wish they would make like a Columbo figure. I would get
Oh,
a
Columbo.
a 6 scale
Yeah.
Columbo figure. They did Dark Shadows, but they only did like I think 4 figures. Like they did Barnabas, Angelique, the Wolfman, and
But that's modern. They didn't make them back when the show was on.
yeah, They made them. It came out like, I think, yeah, because I looked them up. They're very, very expensive. They
They
make
didn't
them.
come out in the 70s and
I think
60s.
so. I'll
No, they
look it
didn't.
up.
Figures Toys Company made those.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, well, whatever.
Marvel fan likes the older Hess Tucks from the 70s.
Mm.
They're cool and they're worth a lot.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
David gonna show something. Then we'll get to the rest of the.
Well, you can read that last one there.
Okay.
And then Hercules says the Waltons figures were ridiculous. It's the Waltons, man.
I never watched the
And Jeff
Waltons.
says, okay, kids, play out your wildest space political intrigue aboard Babylon 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, it wasn't that kind of a show for, for the time period. Those figures, you can buy Babylon 5 figures really, really cheap still. Nerd's got Fonzie on his bike. But this is something else I picked up at the show, and this might spark a few memories for you too. It's the Armatron from Radio Shack. The Armatron from Radio Shack.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah. EMC Toys.
Armatron.
Yeah.
The robot arm that you control. And you see these every once in a while, but you don't see them like this. The box has been opened, although the corners are not split. It's a little rough, but the corners are not split. And the contents are unused. They're unused condition contents. And I'm thinking, I might do this as an upcoming video, testing it out. But man, do you remember these anyone used to get the Radio Shack catalogs back in the day? Because they were free and you could go in a Radio Shack and pick one up and they were thick.
Mm-hmm.
And they had all kinds of electronic equipment. And then in the toy section, they had stuff like this. I love how they get the little scientist with the little badge with his face on it and stuff. His little ID badge.
I don't know about 3 inches.
Oh, a mansion playset.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like something that Mezco would do in their 5 points figures line now. And Blue Splash says found the Sports Turtles reissues at Targets and Pizza Toss, but took them back and got their money back because they didn't want to go down that path.
Really like Columbo. I've got box full DVD sets of every episode.
Columbo was all right. He was fun.
Yeah.
And Jeff says they're cheaper than Star Trek figures. So the Babylon 5, yeah. It just never really worked. And Munin thinks there's a loss of interest in NECA. He keeps noticing the figures are sitting around and hitting clearance.
Yeah, they do. They're at Walmart all over the place.
Little House on the Prairie. Funko? Yeah, I know.
I'm surprised they never did Charmed.
Oh God. Not Charmed.
I'm surprised. Now that's a TV show I don't think anybody ever did. Charmed. I think the new Migo did. I think. I don't think.
Did they?
I think so.
I can't remember. This is a classic throwback to the Radio Shack Tandy Corporation like electronic toys that they used to sell, and just finding it in this kind of condition,
What?
Alf, why?
It's found the original kid. They found him dead in his car with his dog.
Yeah, they were both dead. It's
so
crazy.
Maybe a reboot. Oh
yeah.
Wow. Wasn't there Kojak figures?
Yes. There was I can't remember off the top of my head who made them. They were made in the 70s. It's like a Migo. It's a Migo-like figure. And they made Kojak and they made a villain. They made like a burglar or somebody for him to catch. And they were sold individually carded. And there's also a Sears 2-pack that has an office for Kojak with Kojak and the figure sealed in like a cardboard shipper box.
Gilgamesh had that Shockwave figure.
Yeah, Galactic Man, that's right. The Shockwave, because they had it before Hasbro, I believe.
And Stone Sour donated $2 to those
excellent.
cats.
Yeah.
Oh, Stone Sour. You can have those cats for that $1.99. You
can
have
my babies.
20 of them. I'll mail them to you
We
in
are
a
currently
box.
taking care of 20. and I love them all.
I
I
will
can't
mail them
help
to
it.
you in a box.
Oh my God, I can't
Every
help
last
it.
one of them.
The poor
I'll
babies.
even pay the shipping.
Oh
Waiting for
no.
NECA to release Kojak, the Night Stalker. Do you remember Radio
Kolchak.
Shack having toys? I used to work at Radio Shack when I
Kolchak,
was
the
in
Night Stalker.
when I was in college. I worked at Radio Shack. They had a lot of remote control toys at that time. Not like
Yeah.
toys, but a lot of remote control vehicles.
That's Hobo sleeping in his habitat with his tongue hanging out. His tongue's always hanging out because he doesn't have teeth.
They do not want to see them cats. Tubi has a lot of the 90s action cartoons on there right now. I can pretty relive yeah, we watched the majority of the cartoons we watch on Tubi. Tubi has a lot of good shows, good classic movies from the 50s, 60s, 70s, TV shows. They have a lot of kung fu, lot of anime. They have a lot of good stuff on TV, so we watch that a lot. Migo seems to be doing okay with cop TV shows, Sashi and Hutch. Maybe they could do the Rookies, Charlie's Angels, and the team.
LJN made the Rookies back in the
You
70s.
got some of those
Yeah,
Rookies.
I've got a couple of the LJN Rookies over
and
there. Yeah,
SWAT and Emergency.
SWAT and Emergency. See, there's a little girl. She responds to that too. If you call little girl, she'll come. She's got copper colored eyes like Dusty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why they don't get along. they don't get along too well.
I pre-ordered Angel.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I'm gonna get that because
Oh
I
no.
really like that. I really like that, so I'm gonna get it. How long is the
Kaiser's
beer
here.
gonna go?
Where
Until death meets him.
What?
Yeah, you ain't cutting that beard.
She likes it, and she wants me to keep it going.
William loves seeing the cats.
Oh, Monkey!
You can have 3 of them. I'll mail you Monkey.
Oh no, not Monkey.
In a box.
Not Monkey.
I will
Come
send
on.
him to you, and he can tear up all over your house, running around all over the place.
He
jumping.
is rambunctious.
Oh God, that cat can run and jump, and it's like, dude, go lay down somewhere. Quit walking on me in the middle of the night.
There's Monkey playing with a fish.
We do want to see cats, says Custom God.
See, Custom God wants to see cats. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I'll mail you 3, and you can look at them all
what is
you
wrong
want.
with you? What is wrong with you? There's Miss Kitty.
All cocked up all over the place. Like she owned the place. She act like she did.
Yeah, well, you know how it is.
But something we were talking about today that brought us back. You remember we were talking about hood ornaments. You remember when cars had hood ornaments? Oh yeah, that's that little fluffy one that live outside.
Yeah, that's one of the outdoor ones.
You can have the outdoor ones too.
They're human friendly now. Shelby Rockstar says, is the new Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir series going to be good? I hadn't heard of it.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
I hadn't heard that.
I thought that was like a little parody because you see him sometimes they do clips of him in that Superman outfit.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in that last Flash film.
Oh, no, you said Spider-Man. I was thinking about Superman. Sorry. Okay, wrong character. Sorry.
Yeah, William says Kyra is rambunctious, talking about his cat.
Oh, yeah, they can play together.
David wants to know, does Uncle ever come down and visit the museum? He slips down here occasionally, but for the most part, the only one who really comes down here is Miss Kitty, because the only place that she ever goes is right here in this chair where I'm sitting.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do anything else but sit in this chair.
Yeah, and sleep. So
yeah.
You see,
Nacelle is supposed to start selling in Walmart's Biker Mice, Sectars, and stuff on shelves again. Oh, okay.
What's Nacelle?
Nacelle is a toy company that makes Biker Mice and the new. Because Zika Toys was doing Sectars, but now Nacelle's going to be doing it.
We saw the Sectars cartoon. It wasn't bad, but it was too loud.
It was a good premise, but it was loud. The music was loud,
blaringly loud, and it was continuous.
Yeah, and they rushed it. They could have slowed that down quite a bit, but they rushed it. There's Uncle.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the Cape Crusader. I think we're gonna start it tonight. Um, it's only like 10 episodes, so of course we'll watch like one a
Yeah.
week until we get done. But yeah, I saw that and I had saved it to watch, so we're gonna start watching that. I'm glad it's on Amazon
Hmm.
because a lot of the Batman or the animated stuff from DC comes on Max, on Cinemax. So now that one's on Prime. So I hope they kind of move all of their stuff to Prime so we can watch it.
Okay. 25 pounds of cat.
I'll mail them to you. My family friendly movie wrote and directed is on Tubi. Okay. It was fun to film with live actors and puppets like Jim Henson. It's called A Fairy Tale After All. So we got to look for that on
Okay.
Tubi. Hold on, gotta write it down.
And Jess says,
Okay,
oh, he's
it's
talking about
talking.
side conversation.
Okay.
So there you go.
Mm. What section is Nichelle in?
I would assume it would be in the like adult collector section over by electronics.
Oh, I've seen the Street
Street
Sharks
Sharks, yeah.
in there, usually with the
Video games,
okay.
yeah. And Gilgamesh says, were they in the regular toy section? Yeah, they're still asking about
Okay.
all of that as they go down. And then Munin says, now it's mentioned, are most toy lines coming out now based off vintage series? It's almost
Yeah.
like the new stuff isn't worth making.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost all based off the new. It's almost all based off vintage series. It's all nostalgic stuff. They're selling it to us. They're not selling it to kids.
But now, when
with the exception of the Jurassic Park line
Mhm.
that is geared towards children and is based on more modern properties and does sell. So
Yeah.
they can do it if they want to.
But the new stuff that does come out are from independent
Mhm.
dealers that get their own properties. Like you see the Mythic Legends or the Warriors of the Kingdom, those kind of things. And we'll show it on a roundup every so often. And those are usually new toys, but they're from independent dealers. They're not like from the big boys. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I always wondered why they don't just make new toys, but then nobody buys it.
Yeah.
So it's like we
Not
got to
really.
only do what we can only do what works, and the old stuff works. Go and look sometime. Okay.
Yeah. Oh God. William says he saw Corvette Summer for the first time. He enjoyed it. A good classic movie. That's with Mark Hamill. It's a 70s Mark Hamill film.
Oh
Corvette
yeah.
Summer. Yeah.
I never heard of that one.
Never heard of that one.
No.
Here's another one. If you guys didn't see, this was an antique mall pickup
Okay.
that we got because we did the antique mall last Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Last
did.
Sunday we went by the antique mall just for the hell of it. Actually, we're going there to see if there would be cat food.
Yeah, it wasn't because it was raining.
Yeah, it was
it rained
raining,
the
so
whole
the
time.
outdoor vendors didn't open. So we went inside and we poked around a little bit just to see if we could find anything. And I did find this, which is the 1976 Adventure People Mountain Climber set. Still mint on the card with the original price tag, $2.99. And that is Dick and Jan. And Dick and Jan are going mountain climbing with their massive grappling hook, although that is 3 feet of string. And they've got their 2 sleeping bags and the bedroll and the pack and the harness and everything.
Where you see 2 sleeping bags at?
They're stacked.
Oh, okay.
And
they made that clear.
Yeah, it says 2 sleeping bags because, it's the 70s, so they can't have them both in there.
Oh.
Although,
stay warm.
Dick and Jan, they ain't out there hiking for just the exercise.
Why
You know
not?
what I mean? Because they don't need but the 1 sleeping bag. They have 2, but they'll end up using 1.
Oh my God.
Anyways. No, actually, the one this is a sleeping bag. 1 is rolled and 1 isn't.
Okay.
In the package. But it was unbelievably cheap, and for an antique mall, that's damn near impossible because antique malls are overpriced most of the time. But you never know. Sometimes you find stuff, and I'll grab an Adventure People set any opportunity I get.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that is great. That
That
is
looks to
great.
be in great condition.
Yeah. What?
That's what the comment said.
Oh, you were reading the comment. I was
Yeah,
like,
that looks.
you sounded like you were being snarky. Like, oh, that looks to be in great condition. But Fisher Price Adventure People is one of my favorite lines. These are just so cool, and
Hmm.
they're rugged toys, good play value, and just purely imagination based. There's no cartoon, there's no comic book, there's nothing to base these off of.
Hmm.
You know, they just made cool action figures.
I guess
You don't like them?
I
They
don't
made all
care.
kinds of stuff. They made like realistic stuff. Like they have the adventure jeep, and they've got the dirt bikes, and they have the diving set and
Stuff like
the
that.
TV van.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Green Day music video is Corvette Summer remade with the old Mark Hamill.
Okay. And then Randall says that would be a cool car for Jada Toys to make the car from Corvette Summer. They could
Yeah.
do both the red and gold versions. They might. And Munin says every time David shows his vintage toy find, it makes me wish I had a place like an antique mall around my area.
You don't have an antique mall around your area?
No, they're in Antarctica.
Oh, no bad.
And Shelby Rockstar says Mountain Climbers pack looks like a MacGyver survival pack. Yeah, I know. It's massive. Well, you know, it had to be built so that it could, you know, a kid could snap it onto their back. Because, I mean, look how big that winch and harness is that this guy's carrying. It's kind of silly. But, you know, for play value purposes, it makes sense. Yeah, always loved the Fisher Price Adventure People lines.
I heard Mark Hamill isn't too nice in person.
Yeah, no, I've heard he can be very rude,
Mm.
as can Harrison Ford be extremely rude to people. And, however, unlike Harrison Ford, can't shut his mouth about his political views, and that can irritate people as well. Robert says Corvette Summer also had Ann Potts from Ghostbusters. That was when Mark Hamill and Annie Potts were in the 20s. It's also when Mark Hamill had his car accident before Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
I actually like Mark Hamill on the Flash TV show. He has a character. I can't remember
The
that.
prankster? Or what
Yeah,
was it? Was that
something
it?
like that. But it's kind
Uh,
of almost like the Joker
mhm.
character, just live action. You know, but he did a really good job as that character. I can't remember the name of it, but he's one of the Flash villains in the TV show.
Yeah, that's why in Empire they had the whole Wampa scene, because there's the scene where this like abominable snowman type monster
Mm-hmm.
gets the drop on Luke Skywalker and takes a swing at him and slices his face open.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he had that car accident and he had the scar on his face. So
Oh,
they wrote that whole scene in there
explain
to
why he's all messed up.
to explain that. Yeah, so
Mm.
that they could give it some continuity. Gilgamesh says their Ollie's is getting Christmas toys already.
Already.
And he picked up a couple of the Hasbro Dungeon and Dragons monsters for $9 each. Pretty good size and not bad for random monsters.
Okay. We don't have a Ollie's near us, so when we go like to other places, we try
Yeah.
to stop in because there's none in our area.
And McNichol said it's funny how good guys in movies are dicks in person. Yeah, well,
The
the
trickster.
trickster. Thank you,
That's who
Robert.
he is.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. And
Hey,
James says
James.
one thing I've learned to search for when toy hunting is Crayola crayons.
Really?
Some discontinued colors can go for 10 to 20 per unused crayon.
Wow.
Dandelion, thistle, Indian red. Okay, that's interesting.
I never heard of
I
that.
think I've heard that.
I've never seen a pack of Crayola crayons.
Yeah, because you know the actual spectrum has like 60,000 color variants, and
Well, I
so
remember they had that big case, that hard carrying case. I think it had like 72 crayons in it.
Mhm.
I always wanted that, but of course we always got
with
the
the little
box of 8.
pencil with the little crayon sharpener in the
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. All we got was the pack of 8. Maybe you got the 16 and that was it. You wasn't getting no more than that.
Munin says they're in Florida. You'd think a big city would have an antique mall and not just a filthy Goodwill full of weirdos.
Yeah, no. Goodwill does get kind of creepy.
It does get weird.
Yeah, the
trickster.
trickster.
Couldn't remember. I thought I said prankster. Close enough. Shelby says Luke didn't have Herbie to pull the abominable snowman's teeth out. Oh yeah, Herbie from that was the Bumble, not the
The
Wampa.
Bumble.
Yeah. And William says it looks like Ollie's is done with comic book 5-packs. It was fun while it lasted.
People keep stealing the comics.
Yeah, every time we saw them, the bags were ripped open.
Yeah, and some of the comics were either missing or just the bags were open.
And Frankenfog says, "Do you have Boglins?" No, I don't have any Boglins. I don't have any Boglins.
Hey Frank, how are you?
How are you? They
I never seen the name before.
Okay, yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I say hey.
There's nothing wrong with that. But the the Boglins, if I did, I'd probably want the vintage ones, although they have been making new ones, which are an affordable alternative to the originals, and they're made in the same scale as the originals and in a little cage too, just like the originals were.
Oh,
and I've shown them on the roundup a few times.
I thought you had one. Seemed like I've seen that
I don't
before.
have any Boglins.
Oh.
The original ones, though, it's hard to find them without them being sticky.
Because why would they be sticky?
Because they're soft rubber hand puppets. Yeah, and McNichol says he saw all these comic 5-packs gone in their area as well.
You know who got those comics too? 5 Below.
That's right.
5 Below got it. I saw somebody's video some months back, and I went to our 5 Below, and they did have them. Didn't look like anything interesting. I mean, it's the same thing that you would see at Ollie's. I don't think Walmart sells them anymore. They were the ones that started that.
Yeah,
Walmart like
had,
a couple of years
packs.
ago.
That's right.
We had bought some from them when they first started.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing interesting.
No, I didn't think so.
And then Ollie started doing it, and like I said, 5 Below sells it. I don't know if they do anymore. I went, like 2 times because I saw on a video somebody said that Ollie's had it, and I went and
we didn't find nothing like what people were showing off that they found.
Yeah, we didn't find that kind of stuff, but we did get a couple of Ollie's packs, and we did videos showing what we got. It was nothing great. I mean, it wasn't horrible, I guess. It got some V stuff in there. I think a couple of Green Lanterns, but it wasn't amazing. But for the price, it was like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't meet people I watch spoiled the illusion for me. Besides, I'm sure Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford have met loony fans, so I really don't blame them.
They probably did. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, so they just got hardened like that.
And Munich has Burlington 5 Below. Burlington's pretty good for shirts. Toy-wise, it's full of wrestling garbage.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We went to Ross today and said we were going to look at the toys and didn't.
Didn't do it.
Because the line was so long.
Yeah, I didn't want to stay in there.
No, we just wanted to leave.
Yeah. William says he didn't have catalogs yet. Looking forward to them. I got the one you showed plus 2 different ones. Oh, okay.
What kind of catalog?
He's talking about the superhero comic book catalog, and I did a live with it Thursday that I flipped through. And for those of you who aren't familiar, it was printed by Marvel for a company that produced superhero merchandise. So the whole comic is advertisements that you would normally see in comics. Instead of comic book, there's all ads, and it's all types of superhero merchandise that was for sale.
Yeah, Vic says that it's getting harder to find cheap toys at Ross.
That's because people are getting wise to it.
Because everybody do a video talking about how they doing a toy hunt at Ross.
Oh, Franken Frog says, careful with the new Boglins from TRI. The rubber cracks and rips by the originals. Okay, they're making them cheap. I haven't handled one. I've shown them on the Friday roundups in the past, but I've never actually handled one, so I'm not aware.
I don't know.
No reviews on modern Boglins.
I've seen, but I swore you had one because it seemed like I've seen them around. Maybe I've seen them out in the street, when we go out and about.
You might have seen them in one of the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any Boglins.
That's nothing I'm interested in, though.
Yeah, I would probably, if I had them, I'd never open them anyways.
No.
Because, I keep most everything sealed unless I purposely buy it loose. which I do have a handful of loose things floating around, like the Shogun Warriors
You
and
got the
the
GI
Star
Joe
Wars.
vehicles in the
Yeah, I've
Star
got a bunch
Wars.
of a raw stuff loose,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't. Most of the, for the most part, everything we have is sealed. Let me see.
Yeah, social media hunts at Ross and Ollie's
Is
is killing
killing the
collecting.
collecting. Yeah, that's the idea. Well, you see that with all of those things. Once the idea starts circulating, then everybody gets wise to it, and then you won't find it anymore because everybody
Yeah,
wants to put out a video. Hey, look what I found, and then yeah, that
yeah, and
now
where they found it.
yeah, you don't tell people where your little gold mine is
Yeah,
because they'll all come and they'll pick it clean.
but then you're also telling the employees, because some of the employees
That's
might
true.
not know anything, and then they say, "Hey, I see all. Hey,
Legends
legends.
made it.
um they see all of these people coming in buying these. They're like, why are they buying it? Let me go look on YouTube. Oh, okay. So then they go buy it. Now they got a Facebook, not a Facebook. They got a
A little TikTok video or some crap.
yeah, eBay page, and they selling it with marked up prices.
Who saw from our last from the antique mall pickup?
Hmm.
I also had those poster books. Who saw the poster
Oh
books? Those
yeah,
are amazing.
yeah. I didn't look at it.
You didn't look at them at all?
No,
Oh,
no,
really?
I didn't look at it at all.
These
The
are fantastic.
The last time I went into Ross was during Christmas time last year. The place stunk bad.
Yeah.
What is it? It's so smelling like poop. I don't know.
That
Today we were out and oh god, it smelled bad today. But I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean I saw it when we picked it up, but I didn't
Because
look through it.
I
I never
found
looked
these at
through
the
it.
antique mall too, and they were real cheap.
Did you show that on the
I showed them
live
on one of
video?
the live
Oh,
videos.
okay. I never saw them.
These are the original poster books. I got them both. There's two in the set. There's only
Uh-huh.
two, and these were what 1992, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic Crusaders poster books, 8 full color posters,
8 posters.
unused. You know, there's the back, and it shows you a picture of all the posters.
Oh, okay.
But it's also a storybook.
Oh,
It
really?
is a storybook because
Like a little comic book?
on the back of each poster, and there's Dr. Kilimov, who is hilarious. This show is fun.
It's on
It's
Tubi.
funny.
It is very funny.
And on the back of each of the pages is a couple of paragraphs. It starts off. You see, this is Dr. Kilimov's poster, so there's the Dr. Kilimov description, but it's a complete story.
Mm-hmm.
So as you follow through with the poster book, you're reading the story as well. And this kind of stuff didn't survive. Back then, these kids would have tore these out and pinned them up, and then they would have got peeled down off the wall and thrown away. This is just so cool. And both of these stories go together. But full color, or both of these poster books go together. But they were in the mall. They were really, really cheap. And I was like, wow. And there's Toxie's mom.
Mm-hmm. And that's her name, Toxie's mom.
Toxie's mom is her name in the show. See, and then there's the final description. Did they show the person with the beard? They did. This is the weird thing from the show. See the lady there with the beard?
Mm-hmm.
Because that whole family, everyone has the exact same face with the beard too, even the kids. Remember?
Yeah.
The whole family looked like that.
I can't remember that
Can't
name, but
remember
they
the
showed them a
guy's
couple
name.
of times. Employees spilled the beans on this other collector at Ross, saw my master's shirt and said, oh, there's a guy that has a man cave and collects most of the action figures. I'm like, well, I'm done here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, home. Funny thing happened today. I won a bid on a $500 espresso machine for under $200. Problem is, it's showing my old and new address and want proof it's me. They already charged my card. Golly.
That's a pain in the butt. And Robert says, do any of you know where to find good Blu-ray DVDs? They're getting harder to find. Sometimes Target or Walmart might have them. Not sure.
Probably on eBay. I buy a bunch of it's this one eBay seller. I think it's called Thinking DVD.
Mm-hmm.
And they sell ton of DVDs and Blu-ray, and a lot of times when I buy DVDs on eBay, that's who I'll buy it from. And then I buy a lot from Amazon too. So you can always go to Amazon. Gotta go now. We're
Okay,
watching.
Johnny.
Okay, Johnny, we'll talk to you later.
Shelby Rockstar said the Toxic Avenger film was super raunchy, not for kids. No,
Yeah.
and but the Toxic Crusaders cartoon show, Saturday morning cartoon show. I think what 13 episodes. Total opposite, and it's really funny. It's really funny. Legend says, my question is, do you think they will believe me if I bring my license card and letter of new address?
Yeah.
They should. That's the other
That's the
poster
only
book.
way you're gonna prove it.
That's the other poster book, and it's exact same format. Really bright colored posters,
Mm-hmm.
and then on the back is that's I think that is that a page sticking? Yes, it is. On the back is a story, and these are just they're just bright and colorful, and it's
Yeah.
fun, and it's a neat throwback, and it's not something you would have expected to see. And it's one of those weird things that you just don't expect would have survived.
Mm.
You know, I'm sure there aren't too many. It's like finding an unused coloring book from any time before the year 2000.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Do they even make coloring books anymore?
yeah, they make them for adults.
Yeah, but not for kids.
Not really. I'm sure they do, but I mean, kids don't have the same type of imagination anymore, I guess.
Mm.
What do I know?
Yeah, if you gotta go to the warehouse and pick it up, they should believe you because
Yeah,
you should have to show proof of ID anyway to pick
yeah.
up something like that. So you shouldn't have a problem. You shouldn't. Frank opened up all their toys because they ran out of room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What'd you do with the boxes?
Mm-hmm.
Some people save the boxes. Marvel fans easy find a lot of nice older toy lines and books at Goodwill type stores for cheap. Sometimes you can.
Yeah.
The 80 books look the same as new style. Some do. And we got tons of children's books. I mean, so
God, we got a lot.
yeah.
Look like they could be He-Man
Well,
villains.
you know, also they were made by Playmates, the same people who did the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so sometimes
So
they look
they
like
look
they could
very,
be.
very similar.
Yeah, yeah.
And she has like some Super 7 Toxic Crusader stuff. She doesn't have any of the original Toxic Crusaders.
Because they're
They
expensive.
can be expensive.
Yeah. Let's hope Peter
Dinklage does well as the Toxic Avenger.
Oh, they're
Stone Sour
redoing
says.
that?
Yeah, I heard they were redoing it. I don't know who's doing it though.
Oh, wow.
I don't know nothing about it. And I'm not too sure I even want to see a remake of anything.
Well, I didn't like the original. We turned it off.
Yeah,
because it was. I didn't like how we stopped when the boy was getting ran over by the car,
yeah.
and it just kept backing up and going for it back. We didn't get past it. I couldn't watch it anymore. It was just too much.
Yeah. And David says people in modern figure collecting are growing concerns of HasLab, G.I. Joe planes, vehicles, and wondering if Hasbro will make a 1/12 scale Terrordrome and other sets. Space will be gone with all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would fly. A 12th scale Terrordrome or Legends scale to go with classified size figures. I don't know. Because you remember Super 7 already failed with that air carrier. The air carrier did not make the funding, and they offered a lot to try to encourage people, all kinds of O-ring figures and stuff they threw with it, and it was impressive looking, but people were like, nah,
it's too big. And it's like, why don't you just make it the size it was originally?
It wasn't one originally.
I know, but the size of like that, do you know the size the vehicles came out in? You don't have to make it like super beefed up.
Well, it would have to be the carrier, and they still couldn't make it to scale by any means, any more than like the USS Flag was to scale. But the original, and I get it. I mean, the original Terrordrome to find complete can be tough. I've got one, but that was tough for me to find one because I insisted on finding one that was complete, loose complete. I was fine. I didn't have to have the box. loose complete, because piecing it out would have been a fortune.
Yeah.
Finding, if something's missing from it, you'll be forever looking for it, and then they'll want something crazy for it, and it'll end up costing you so much. And it was a Joe Fest
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years back, and the guy didn't want hardly anything for it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was on a Sunday, and he was just like, well, um, I'd take this for it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, and I
Because
bought something from that guy
yeah,
this year.
it didn't even make any sense, the price he asked. And I was like, holy crap. Okay. Yeah. Because it's fine. I think the only thing wrong with it is inside this little gas hoses.
Mm-hmm.
One tab is broken on the inside on the hoses, and now I put all of my O-ring GI Joe Cobra figures inside of it.
The Dinklage Texas Avenger hasn't found a distributor, and it's been done for a year. Will probably come out on blue. Oh, so it's already been made.
Yeah, nobody wants to see it. But Munin says coloring books for adults. Why? You've seen the adult coloring books, haven't you?
They look good. I mean, they're not like children's coloring books.
They're complicated.
Yeah, they're real complicated, and you can get them like super advanced.
Yes.
They're not like, I think what you're thinking, like when we were kids, it was one big picture and you color it. No, it's very elaborate, very detailed, and you can't even use crayon. You have to use like
Colored pencils,
color pencils or gel pens. This one girl, when we worked at the daycare center, she would color those a lot, and me and her did a couple of times, and they actually are fun.
Adult daycare center for people with mental disabilities,
and they actually are pretty fun. To do if you're just sitting down. It is relaxing, and
Okay, well, somebody we lost our connection or not, because somebody tell us if we dropped.
Okay,
Gilgamesh thinks HasLab could do the Terrordrome because they did Unicron for 600. Yeah, well, Unicron had only been done like one other tanks a box.
Okay, so I think we're getting some freezing up. We're back now, but I think it's freezing up every so often. I don't know why.
And William thinks the McFarlane Superpowers line is dying or dead. The current crowdfund is in the file. Oh yeah, he did.
They have a crowdfund for what?
He did a crowdfund for something. I didn't show it, but he did a crowdfund for something from Super 2 figures and a vehicle, and people just didn't take it seriously.
I think people are starting to get worn out and tired of all of this crowdfunding, all of this pre-order, all of this and that there. And then when they get the figures, they're disappointed, because wasn't it the Galactus or the one before Galactus? The knees were breaking and all of this stuff.
Oh, it was the Sentinel.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't the knees were too loose.
Yeah.
And so you'd stand him up and he'd start falling over.
Right, but I mean, you're paying $600 and $700. You're waiting a year or two to get it, and it's falling apart on you. People getting tired of that. Plus, we had a time now where it's just like everything costs. Everything costs a lot. Food and gas and mortgage is going up. If you got an HOA, that's going up. People need to keep their money in their pocket. So I don't know.
Yeah.
NECA makes their boxes look so nice. I can't get rid of them.
Says Franken Frog. And then Gilgamesh says he opens most figures. He keeps the boxes in totes.
Yeah.
And he has several adult coloring books himself.
Yeah. I don't color in them. I want to color I make a copy. When I was at the center, I would just find them online and print it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would just print it out.
And Legend says adult coloring books were designed to help with anxiety. Part of the reason it takes you back to a simpler time.
Yeah, I think it's good for people with autism too. Helps them to focus on something because it's so detailed. Okay, now we're back on. Yeah, we were dropping off. You're dropping now.
And
Yeah.
Marvel fan says he's on the phone and it didn't freeze.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully we're not having any more issues.
Yeah.
Because when that does that, sometimes people don't get back in,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know why it does that.
It's coming. Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
the hurricane,
the hurricane
Hurricane
Debbie.
Debbie. What you got?
Something to drink. I got some tea.
Oh, I thought you were going to show something.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, oh, the guy got the Armatron from gave me a couple of Atari cartridges. Because why not? Because why not?
Debbie is the hurricane that out there in the Atlantic Ocean about to slam into Florida.
Yes, because Atari the first home console to get it right. There were consoles, home video game systems prior to Atari,
Mm-hmm.
but they did not just didn't take it, didn't catch on. But Atari nailed it.
Yeah, I agree with you, K Munin. The crowdfunding is just becoming too much, and I think they do too much at once. They don't just like anything else. They don't put enough time in between it. I mean, you got back to back to back to back crowdfunding, and sometimes it might be something that people do want, but it's like,
Yeah,
okay, I just threw out $600-700 for this figure. Now that's processing, and you throwing out another crowdfunding. That's processing. Now you got another one. And it's
yeah.
like, you
Or they
know,
put up two at once, and then you're like, it's something that some people might be interested in both, and they just can't swing it.
yeah. And then back to what we were saying before, is like you're not making good quality figures.
No,
So
you're not.
why do I need to give you all this money?
And then it's a toss up too. Like I did get the Galactus,
Yeah.
and I did an unboxing of the
Mm-hmm.
Galactus, an unboxing and review. I liked the figure itself, but I hated all of the extras, all of
Oh.
the stuff that they all the tier stuff that they gave you, the figures and the Doctor Doom head and all that other stuff. I didn't like any of it. And it's like I could have done without that completely, because the figures I thought were cheaply made. They looked
Yeah.
like they were thrown together. The the Doctor Doom head was a very poor reference to like a What If comic from
Mm.
like the 2000s.
Mm.
So I don't care about that. Yeah,
I did two crowdfundings, the Thunder Tank
yeah,
and the Turtle Van. Absolutely love the Thunder Tank. Don't regret getting that at all. Honestly, never even opened up the Turtle Van.
yeah,
We got it. I had already saw reviews on it. I was fine with that. I just put it up. I mean, I couldn't display it. I didn't see the point of reviewing it because I got mine late. Why I don't know why, but I got mine
yeah,
late. So everybody had already reviewed it, so I didn't. But those are the only
yeah,
two crowdfundings I did, and I liked them. Atari 2600, anyone?
yeah. Those are Atari 2600 cartridges.
Mm-hmm.
And then came Coleco. I got the Coleco too, and I used to play Smurfs on Coleco. I liked that game a lot. And then
Ah.
was the Nintendo NES, which the graphics were so much of an improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sega Genesis, which made Super NES look ridiculous. Randall says, picked up a guide to Godzilla today at Books a Million. Lots of good photos from every era and some information too. The cover has cool texture to it.
Mm.
Coffee table book.
Yeah.
And Aaron played Raiders of the Lost Ark on Atari.
Really.
They had a Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, it
Really.
looks ridiculous. By today's standards, you look at it now and you remember those commercials in 4-bit action, and it's like an assemblage of squares basically.
Mm.
And with the games that they have now, or even going as far as like going as far as the Nintendo NES and comparing it to Atari, and you're like, wow, what a joke.
Yeah, I agree with that, K Munin, and it
Hmm.
kind of wanna. Well, you can't say it is happening like 100% now because they do still have crowdfunding, but you can see that they're not getting as many backers and it's not meeting its goal as quickly.
Yeah.
Like when crowdfunding first started, it seemed like they were meeting their goals within a couple of days. Now it's like taking longer. It's taking like weeks to make their goal.
Not only that, but you know what's killing it too
Mm.
is that you have fewer people buying more of the product, because back then,
Mm-hmm.
when they first started doing it, like when they did Unicron,
Mm-hmm.
most people only got one, you
Yeah.
know, or when they did the sand skiff from Return of the Jedi, Jabba's sail barge,
Mm-hmm.
the sail barge rather, not the sand skiff. If most people only got one,
Yeah.
and then they saw aftermarket, they're selling for like $2,000, and they
Mm-hmm.
were like, "Holy crap,
Then it started
that's a
getting
cash
five.
cow!" And then yeah, and then everybody was buying the limit, more than the limit. I saw people that were in the comments section saying from two different accounts they bought 10 of the Cobra Hiss, you know, because everybody's buying them not because they want them, because they figure they're going to flip the other one. So that
Yeah.
everybody's buying, you know, fewer people are buying, instead of one person buying a bunch of people buying just one each or two each. Then you've got fewer people buying five each, and
Mm-hmm.
then trying to dump them aftermarket, and then the price keeps going down, 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 and you know that, and seeing people seeing it dying in aftermarket is going to discourage them from
Yeah.
crowdfunding, because then they'll look and they'll say, well shit, I paid 500 for mine and now it's at the convention for 3. So next time, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just wait till it shows up at the show.
Yeah, because we saw the Thunder
Thunder
Tank
Tank
today for
today,
350
sealed, yeah,
sealed
brand new,
in the box with the tab still on it.
yeah.
I don't remember how much I paid. I think that's how much it was, or it was 450. I don't remember, but it was around that price.
Yeah,
But then again, like I always say, Super 7 doesn't hold value.
a lot of it does. There's a handful of things,
Yeah,
to be fair, but it
but
seems like the majority of it,
it's a small amount
it
that
seems
holds
like
some
the
value.
majority of it aftermarket you can get from Super 7 a lot cheaper, and that's a
Yeah.
big difference when you're looking at how much some of that stuff costs.
Mm.
Like I saw at the Joe Fest, the last Joe Fest, if you seen that tour video,
Mm-hmm.
somebody had one of those like quarter scale or half scale peanuts
Oh
in the
yeah,
box,
yeah.
and he had like 175 on it.
That thing is like 350.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're 350, 395,
Yeah.
and but aftermarket, you know, and I like those, but there's no way I can pay 400 a piece for them. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
No.
But you know, if I can find it aftermarket cheaper, why would I buy the new one?
Yeah. Just wait.
Yeah.
Wish I had a 3D printer. I could remake my childhood cartoon obscure figures myself. We
Hmm.
talked about 3D
Yeah,
figures.
that's what Munin is telling her. They're having a little
Yeah.
side conversation there
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Yeah, you missed that conversation.
Oh, it's okay. Munin says, very true. Several people will bought multiple Java sail barges. That thing is huge. The space it eats up, you'll want to get rid of it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Or you could blow it up. Somebody did that in the video.
Oh God.
They bought one and they blew it up and set it on fire and everything.
Why?
Action figure photography. But then, you know, the video got a lot of views because people are like, no way somebody's going to burn that thing down after paying so much. Uh-oh. William says he got a Transformers vinyl album from Hasbro for the original cartoon series.
Oh, just the
It didn't
music?
it didn't really have good music. The movie
G.I.
did.
Joe had better music.
G.I. Joe had, they went out and they got a real
Orchestra.
composer and a
Mm-hmm.
real orchestra. Uh, Transformers didn't, and it shows. Transformers did not have good music. The film did.
Transformers is not as bad as David is
It's
making
so
out to be.
cheesy though. They rushed it and they did a bad job. They really did.
It is. I don't know if it's rushed
It
or
is
not.
rushed. They were forced.
They do make a lot of errors as
Hmm.
far as like who's saying what, this person.
People speaking in the wrong voices,
Yeah,
colors changing.
yeah.
Um,
They say a character is not here when it's obviously standing right there.
my
um
favorite is when they were I forget who the character was, but
Bumblebee.
not Bumblebee,
Oh.
but they're in front of Teletran and they're all standing there, and the one guy, he's in the wrong place and he's like hovering 2 feet off the ground. He's not even on the ground, he's just kind of floating there. And it's like,
And their
come on.
sizes change a lot.
Yeah, the sizes are inconsistent. But
See?
yeah, William enjoys the cheese. That's fine. If you love it, you love it, man. I can't tell you nothing.
Yeah,
But
I like it. I mean, it's funny to point out the errors,
they were
but
rushed.
mhm.
They were rushed because they made that whole big deal with Takara to copy their molds and make them cheaper because they took all the great features away from Takara. And if you compare the Takara Diaclone, like the real original Takara Transformers, to the ones in the US,
Mhm.
it's night and day. Um, the original ones had die cast. They had little tiny jointed action figures with magnets in their feet so they could stand on the vehicles and all sorts of things. And Hasbro took all the bells and whistles away to make them cheaper.
Mm.
But while they were doing that, Tonka got the drop on them and had GoBot bots on the shelves and the cartoon running on the air before Transformers did. And they were like, shit, we got to move. And they rushed the cartoon. And
Mm.
that's why all those problems happened, because it's the same company, Sunbow, who made the G.I. Joe. And you can see the difference. G.I. Joe rarely has an error. It rarely has an error. Sometimes the continuity is not very good on GI Joe, but they didn't make as nearly as many flubs. Also, it's the writing's a lot less sophisticated on Transformers in
Yeah.
comparison. David says there's a guy that collects hot toys and
Sauce. I
saws
don't know what that
the hot
means.
toys boxes on social media and throws stands in the trash. I'm not sure what saws means.
Yeah. But people do videos for
Mm-hmm.
shock value. Like we saw the a couple of videos this one guy did. He would buy like mint condition
That made
action
me upset,
figures
actually.
and then tear them out of the card or the
Yeah,
box and just tear up. I had to turn it off. It
he
was
would
sickening.
he would bid on classic vintage 80s, 70s and 80s action figures, best possible highest grade sealed condition, and he would spend money. He'd be spending like
Hundreds.
$1,500
Yeah.
$2,000 on a vintage carded figure from Kenner or something like that, and he'd get it on the camera, just tear it to bits, and so he could have a perfect mint example. That's cute. You can buy a shitty carded one
Mm-hmm.
and do that. People do that all the time.
Yeah.
But there are people who are bidding against you that have been for years looking for an example like that so that you could destroy it and for YouTube views. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that just kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, that makes me upset. It's hard
Mm-hmm.
to watch, but like I always say, hey, that's your
That's his
money.
money.
You want to take $1,000 and buy a figure when you could have bought a still one carded for 100, where the card is bad, the bubble is yellow, and just saved a lot and just take it out so you can have a mint loose example. Hey, that's your money.
Yeah.
Spend your money. I don't make it for
I'm
you.
sure he gets a lot of views. I'm sure he gets a lot of hate
Yeah,
too.
a lot of bad comments. Yeah, Disney blasted Star Wars franchises to
That's what
smithereens.
Noonan says. Yeah, they a lot of people hate what they've done. And William says, "What fun would life be without the cheese?" Hey, I like cheese.
I like cheese. I
We
like cheesy movies.
McNichol says he meant a sawzall. The guy uses power tools to open them. Yeah, cute. William says the cover of my book makes it look like Godzilla has gills.
Mm-mm.
How else do you think he swims? He holds his breath underwater
Godzilla
all that time?
swims?
Well, yeah, he does.
Oh,
He
okay.
swims.
Oh, okay.
Godzilla can swim.
Mm.
All that buoyancy.
I don't know. I never seen no Godzilla.
He's like a submarine. He dives.
I see Godzilla and King Kong. I mean, it's all right. The
Hmm.
movies I've seen, it was fine.
I
It's
like
nothing
Godzilla.
that I want to sit and watch them all. It's like whatever it's on.
There's too many. There's too many. More monster films have been made of Godzilla than any other monster in history.
Really.
That's true.
Mm.
The only the at a close second is Dracula.
Mm.
If you are keeping count, Munin says maybe it's me, but I don't see the point of buying a collectible just to destroy it. Oh, for clickbait.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure that guy's getting a shit ton of views.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of negativity comes with that because people are going to be mad. And like I said, there are people that were looking for what he bought that were like, oh man, I've been looking for this for 8 years in that condition, and they're, oh man, come on eBay, just to have him destroy it.
But again, that's his money. No, I mean because that is
It's
my
true.
my
It's true.
thing.
It's true.
You make your money,
That is
you
true.
spend it the way you want to. I cannot stand when you got a hobby, a like, or something,
Yeah.
and somebody rips you to shreds. You spending your money, you could have been feeding the hungry. Are you feeding the hungry?
No.
How you know that I don't? How you know I don't volunteer at the homeless shelter?
Yeah. You don't know
Or
what the hell I
you
do.
don't
Yeah.
know. I mean,
You could have bought you a new car. I don't want a new car. I want some toys.
exactly. Somebody told us that. I'm like, why would I get in debt? The car we have is paid for. So I'm
That's right.
supposed to get in debt to get a new car so I can say I got a new car.
I
No,
don't
I'd
care about
rather
some damn car.
yeah, I'd rather have some action figures or some records or
This is
something like that. Something
that's
I want.
yeah. All of this. Well, you see, just a handful of things behind us, but because it goes way back. Some of you might be haven't seen a tour video or might be newer to the channel.
Yeah, we
You
ain't
know,
did a tour video in a
we need
while.
to, but
Yeah.
it goes. We're in a large room. It goes way back. There's a lot of variety, and it goes out. It extends into the hallway through that doorway. And on and on. So we got a lot going on all throughout the room there.
Yeah, but I don't like that, but that's that person's thing. And if you don't
Yeah.
like something, don't watch it.
Yeah. Why are you going to come on and then bitch?
Yeah. So I mean
Unless you
when
just wanted to stir up mess.
yeah, so like that one video, it said, okay, I got this new figure. I was like, oh man, that's cool. I like that. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And then he tore it up. So what did I do? I didn't put a thumb down. I didn't leave a comment. I turned the channel.
I just won't watch this again.
Yeah, I won't watch this person
That's
again.
what you do.
That's how you handle that. Oh
That's
yeah, he
right.
got nostrils, so how can he breathe underwater? I don't know.
Just like any other reptile, and they pinch him closed.
Do they? That's what they do?
Yeah, they it's like their nostrils actually like this, like a turtle,
Oh,
and
okay.
it closes on the outside like that, so that water won't get in by accident.
I don't know if anything under there. There's a lot of stuff under there in that ocean. You don't know what's
You don't know
deep.
what's down there in the
Mm-mm.
ocean. Just like on what was it, SeaQuest,
Mm-hmm.
that 80% of the ocean has never really been
Oh,
explored, and that
that's
is
good.
true.
I'm glad it's never been
Oh, that's right.
explored.
David McNichol was having trouble because he had bought Mondo 97 Rogue, and it broke out of the package. But I guess they have corrected it for him. It says, haven't gotten the Mondo Rogue replacement part Mondo. They told everyone that they would send them out in August. Well, it's August. Oh, okay.
It's August
He didn't
3rd.
get it. He didn't get it yet.
It's August 3rd. You got to give him a minute.
I thought he was saying it was that he had gotten it replaced. August 30th.
Yeah,
it'll show up.
you still got a lot of days left. Come
He's
on
chomping
now.
at the bit. He wants that arm replacement.
It's the 3rd, and the day's Saturday. Golly, give him until at least the 10th.
Oh no!
At least the 10th, and then you start start gently nudging. The new car depreciates. The toys gain value. My area has a large car culture, and trust me, a lot of them are a money pit.
And what did Gilgamesh say? He says people laugh at spending money on toys, but they'll find it acceptable to spend it on sports balls and beers. I find it hypocritical. Or nails. You spend like fortune getting acrylic nails and
in
weave
eyelashes,
eyelashes
and
that look ridiculous.
in $1,500, $2,000 phones. They go eat out 2-3 times a day.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
right.
all kinds of stuff. So whatever. It's your money. You spend it the way you want
Yeah.
to. I'm not gonna comment on how you spend your money. Just don't ask me for none when you don't pay your light bill. Is it possible he has nostrils and gill?
William speculating. I don't know if he even actually technically needs to breathe. I mean, he doesn't eat. He absorbs radiation.
Oh yeah.
Robert says, "You think there's anything under the ocean the size of Godzilla? Who knows?
Yeah, it's too much stuff
It's
under that water.
plausible, but who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows? I'm fine with Godzilla the way he is. I love my Godzillas.
I
He's
guess.
classic. I used to watch the Creature double feature on Saturday afternoon
Mm-hmm.
after the Saturday morning cartoons. It make you not even want to go outside. You know, I
Yeah.
watch the cartoons all morning. Then then you could catch an hour of wrestling on UHF
Mm-hmm.
when the cartoons were starting to go off at 11 and 12, and then the Creature double feature would come on, and it would be a couple of monster movies, but a lot of those monster movies were the old uh, Japanese ones like
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla or Gamera or something like that. And, that would take up, keep you going until like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And then you could go outside and play, because then that's when Beach Blanket Bingo would be coming on. And maybe you wanted to watch Beach Blanket Bingo. Maybe you didn't. But
K Muna says he has a feeling that people who criticize others for buying toys, they themselves don't have any money, or they
yeah,
blew it on frivolous things and just have sour grapes. That is
yeah. Bitter dregs. Bitter dregs, as Leonard Nimoy would say, for when he was being forced to sing on that one episode of the old '66 Star Trek. Bitter dregs. Nimoy could sing. He did albums. William said, "Super scary Saturday with Grandpa Munster." Oh yeah, I remember. I used to watch the Munsters. That guy was nuts. Grandpa, he wore that. I think he still has that outfit
What?
on. I think he has that outfit on in his freaking coffin. The guy who played Grandpa
Mm-hmm.
Munster, when he ran for mayor of New York in the '80s, he was dressed like that, makeup and all. He was crazy.
How you gonna ask somebody to borrow something from you?
I borrow something from you, kid. Like, hey,
What does
yo,
that mean?
can I borrow?
I
Can I
mean,
borrow
how do
that?
you do that? What are you gonna do with it? Put it in your house and be like, "Oh, this mine."
Oh my god, I just
I
want to
don't,
borrow it.
I don't understand
He
that.
wants to impress the chicks.
Yeah, okay.
Yo,
Doubt that.
check out my vintage He-Man collection. Gilgamesh says MST. Thanks to MST3K, I finally seen the Gamera movies
I seen a bunch
on
because of
MST.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, Gamera, is that turtle that spins around?
friend of children, Gamera, the
Is
giant
that the
turtle
turtle? Yeah, that
who
spins and
makes
blow fire out the mouth.
yes,
Okay.
who
Yeah.
oddly makes elephant noises. But yeah, Gamera.
Yeah, I seen a bunch of Gamera, and it was another one in that vein. I can't
Mm-hmm.
think of it now, but I know Gamera is that turtle that spins around and blows fire out the mouth. I'm like, I don't know how you do that, but whatever.
I like how he flies though. He retracts his arms and legs, and the flame comes out of the holes, and he spins.
Can I borrow a stick,
Yeah,
man? Please,
I know.
somebody come over here and be like, "Oh man, David,
Yo,
let me borrow your Serpentor statue.
hook me up, brother. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that. Let me let
Let
me
me
borrow that.
let me borrow your cops figures. Which one?
Yeah,
All of them. I just need to put
I,
it up on my wall for a
will bring
week."
it back. You can trust me. You can trust me. I'm your boy.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm like, dude, you better get up out of here.
What did they want to borrow? Are you serious?
He got to be joking. That's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you do that? What do you
What,
do with
what
that?
do you borrow?
I
Can I
mean,
borrow that?
how do you
Can
borrow
I borrow
a
your house?
figure? Yeah, would it be like, hey man? just for the weekend.
Can I pretend like this is my
Yeah.
house?
Just let me live here, and then you can come over like you my friend.
Yeah.
But
So I can impress
just tell
this girl.
everybody that this my house.
Yeah.
I'm
So I
like,
can
who
impress
you gonna
this
say that?
girl.
You gonna pay the mortgage for that week? I'll prorate it out. How about that?
Yeah, then you'll never get rid of them. They'll turn into a squatter, and you'll have to have somebody beat them up for you.
Can I your Godzilla? I'll examine it for gills and send it back.
No
to you.
gills on the Godzilla. I don't see any gills on.
Can I borrow your
Godzilla
Mr.
here.
Rogers trolley
See?
set?
No gills. No, you cannot borrow Mr. Rogers' trolley.
I want to borrow Robert's custom 1/6 scale figures. Just let me borrow 5 of them. It doesn't matter. I just want to show them in a
Yeah.
video and tell everybody they're mine. So I can do a
I-
1/6 scale video and be like, man, look at all of these custom figures I got. I'll send them back. I'll even pay the shipping.
Nobody is touching that Mr. Rogers trolley playset. It's too impossible to find in the box.
You wouldn't let nobody borrow that?
Hell
You
no.
wouldn't mail it through the mail?
I'm lucky I let it be mailed the first time to get here. That's that ideal Mr. Rogers stuff is super rare. It's just you can find the hand puppets loose, but boxed examples of anything is really tough. Really tough.
No.
There's certain things that, like, yeah, you'll never see it again. Who borrows something? I want to know what they wanted to borrow.
He's joking. He's not
think
serious.
So? You think that
There's
was a
no
joke?
way. How you gonna borrow somebody's stuff? How do you even fix your mouth to say that?
You got to be suave about it.
Why on earth would I ever lend it to
I don't let anyone near
someone?
my collection, says Munin. Why on earth would I lend it to someone? It's like, do you mind if I just borrow this? I just want to, I want. Oh, here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. Can I borrow this for my next action figure photography session?
Now you can come over here and take pictures of it.
Yeah, because there are people who do it. There are people like what is his name? He does the action. He's doing the books.
And Pixel Dan.
Not Pixel Dan. Well,
Oh.
Pixel Dan was going to people's
house
to
do the pitch. Yeah, I know. I don't know that guy's name, but I know who you're talking about.
And to do action figure photography.
You can
William
have
wants to borrow
Monkey.
Monkey.
You don't have to borrow him. You can have him.
You can have little girl.
You can have Monkey,
Not Monkey.
little girl, Dusty.
You can have
Daniel,
little girl.
Uncle.
No.
You have them all. Miss Kitty even. No,
He don't want Miss Kitty. Miss
We'll
Kitty
keep
will hurt
Miss
you.
Kitty and we'll keep Grandma because they don't do nothing and
Miss
they
Kitty
don't
will
interact.
hurt you. Miss Kitty does not like people or cats. She really hates cats, but she doesn't like people so much. I can handle her. It depends, but we're just kind of her retirement plan.
I dated a girl that loved to show people my collection. Honey,
And
Will
he
she
couldn't
bring
even
people?
stand that.
She brought people to your
Was she
house.
being all snarky? Check this fool out. Look at all this junk he's got. Can you believe this?
No.
I'm going to get him to sell all this shit and spend it on me. Kind of like on the 40-year-old version. I felt so bad for that guy.
I never
in that
saw
movie.
40-year version.
He sold all his toys.
Okay, some DVDs. Okay, that's different. Oh
all
my
right,
God.
David McNichol.
Okay.
Don't let him borrow that either.
I mean, I'll loan out a DVD, but
Tell him to,
I thought you meant toys. Like, what?
Tell him to look it up on YouTube and watch it there. Don't let him borrow shit.
What is your problem?
Like the 40-year-old version, he had all vintage sealed 70s from the toys from the 70s, and she got him to sell it in her eBay store. Robert Online says, "What about Hobo?"
You can have Hobo too. You
Hobo
can have him.
is a sweetheart.
Yeah, he is.
He really is just sweet, happy guy. He just drools a lot.
He don't bother nobody.
He really doesn't.
He a good cat.
Yeah, and he permanently lives on that porch.
He won't go.
He will not move more than 20 feet from the porch.
Only time he'll leave is when we cut the grass.
Yeah, and then
when we cut the backyard, because they don't leave the backyard.
Yeah.
But when we cut the backyard, he'll leave the backyard. Dad'll come to the front.
Yeah, he sits around the front in front of the garage.
Yeah, and then he waits. And once they see that the lawnmower stopped and we put it back in the garage, then they come back.
That's right.
But they
But
don't
yeah,
leave that yard.
Hobo turned out to be an absolute angel. And he was such a scary guy in the beginning, which I can imagine because God knows what he's been through. It's not like he can tell us.
Oh my God. I didn't see that. I don't want to. Oh
Uh,
my God. I'm sick right now.
I think I've heard that.
Oh,
There
Jesus
was some guy,
Christ.
yeah, he put up a video recently. It was an Asian guy, and his
Mm.
parents like wrecked his stuff or something.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
What kind of
He's
parents are
grown.
those? Those
He's
men
grown.
don't mean nothing.
Well, I mean, no, because it's not like he's a little kid. I wouldn't do that to a kid
I
either.
wouldn't do it
But
to anybody.
yeah,
I mean,
I,
the
I
adult, a
I
kid.
think I heard that just recently.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
see a video though. I
That
did not
ain't
see a
right.
video. No.
That is not right. I
Well,
wouldn't do
people are
that.
evil. What do you want? People can be nasty. People can be
Yeah, I guess
nasty
so, but
and
that ain't right.
mean.
Throw
Mun-
out people's stuff.
Munin says, if a girl asked me to sell my collection, I would ask her to sell her shoes and makeup. Put an end to that real quick. If she asks you to sell your collection, you don't need her anyways.
That's right.
How about that? You don't
I've
need her
heard
anyway.
stories of guys. They collected before they got married, and one of the conditions to get married is to sell all your stuff.
That's
And they did, and they regretted it, and then
of
they went
course.
back and tried to buy everything back. And of course, is more now. It costs more,
Of
and they
course.
always talk about it, and you can always hear that resentment in their voice because they're gonna always look at you no matter what you do, no matter how much money you make, no matter what kind of house you live in. It's always gonna be that underlying resentment, man.
And that's happened
That heifer
to
done make me sell all my stuff. I had, Superman #1. And I had to
that's
sell it because of her. It's gonna always be there.
that's happened to a lot of people, and it's including a
Mhm.
few that we know. That's happened to a couple of people we know,
I've
and
seen
they've done videos,
videos.
and they were like, "Yeah, well, when we got married, she convinced me to sell. I sold my whole comic book collection,
Mm.
and now I've been slowly getting it back." And
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
you know that that's not going smoothly. That's a deal breaker. If someone wants you to give up your hobby and you enjoy it and it's not hurting anybody, that's a deal breaker, ladies and gentlemen. Deal breaker.
That was on Facebook. The parents selling all of the guys' stuff. I mean, tearing it up.
Yeah.
Hello,
Pop
pop
culture in
culture.
plastic.
My wife wouldn't let me sell my stuff. She says I'll be annoying.
If I'm not collecting what I love or
That's
like,
right.
hey, yeah. I mean, let you be happy. What do you care? If you're with somebody, if they
Ooh.
have something, if they have some hobby or something that they enjoy, whatever it is, why, if you really cared about them, why wouldn't you let them have that? Why wouldn't you let them have something that you know that they enjoy? Why would you steal it, rob them of that, steal that from them, suppress them? That's an emotional vampire, is what that is. And David said he had had women tell him it's either me or your collection, not both. That's right, it's not.
Yeah,
I'll
bye.
keep the collection, and you can take a walk, sweetheart.
You know what that reminds me of? Is that cat food or dog food commercial? And they keep the dog food or the pet food in the refrigerator, and the girlfriend comes over. And it's like,
Oh,
you have
it's
dog food in the refrigerator? And she was like, the guy is like, no, it's not dog food. And she was like, yeah, it is. And he kicked her out. And him
and
and the
he's on the floor like this with the dog eating
yep.
out of the bowl. He's like, yeah, we didn't need her, did we?
That's how you got to be. I can't imagine that because I know me. I have a lot of hobbies. I got a lot of hobbies,
Mhm.
and I'm not going to stop them because I met somebody.
You
I
shouldn't
didn't
have to.
stop any of my hobbies because I like, because I was dating somebody or me and David got married. Now, since me and David got married,
Mhm.
we got more hobbies because
we
now we do them
yeah, we
together.
do everything together.
But the ones that I had before him, I still do.
Yeah.
And like, well, the only thing we don't do is like my sewing. We don't do that together.
Hmm.
But like he got me into collecting and I got him into some stuff and
No, added to the
yeah,
collecting. She collected, but she collected different things like
yeah.
snow baby figurines and precious moments
Precious
and
moments and bowls and picture sets and
peanuts
stuff like
figurines and
that.
stuff like that. And she just kind of grafted into action figures from there.
Dog loose in the house when the parents aren't home. If that happened to me.
Said a cougar loose in the house.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
This
Munin says the story they heard was an angry wife smashing her husband's entire statue collection. Some of the pieces were expensive. That's awful. I've heard stuff like that too.
then you baby.
Yeah. My collection looked better than you, baby. That's right. Oh my God.
If a chick wanted me to sell my stuff to marry her, I'd laugh so hard and I'd keep laughing the whole time. I was kicking her out.
Oh, Gilgamesh.
I'm with you. I am with you because it's, and you got to look at it this way. Okay, it'll never start off with your collection. It's gonna be like, "Ooh, I don't like this shirt. You need to throw that out and get something else. Why don't you change this,
Mhm.
change that?" And everything that changes get bigger and bigger and bigger until you get to that, to whatever your collection, your DVDs, your whatever you got.
Mhm.
Oh no, I can't have all this stuff in here. That's too much. It's taking up too much space. We're gonna need this space because what if my parents come over? We're gonna have a place for them to stay. I want to host parties and all of this. I don't want to host no parties. You know, his mother-in-law. Wow,
Oh, really?
God, then is
Frankenfrog
the
says.
mother-in-law. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
And Munin says, absolutely don't change who you are. Give up what makes you happy. You'll probably be miserable
You will
married
be married.
to
I
that
mean,
person.
miserable.
Unfortunately, most couples aren't happy anyway. I
Yeah,
mean, why make it worse?
I know that's
A
right.
lot of couples don't get along. And so, again, why make it worse? Let them have that little bit of whatever, you know, as long as it's not like it's a crack habit and, they're
Yeah.
stealing your jewelry to buy something.
I mean, my thing is, as long okay, you can have your
Mhm.
collection or whatever, as long as them bills getting paid every month. We ain't in the dark. The gas is still on. The mortgage is being paid. We still eating. I'm serious. Now, once that stuff start getting tainted and started getting messed with,
You
now
got
we're
to
gonna
back
have
off
to
a little
sit
bit here.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to sit down and we're gonna have to talk a little bit. And we're gonna have to back off of your collection. We ain't getting rid of the collection, but we're gonna
Sure.
back off. But now, if that light get turned off more than once, no, mm-mm. No, we're gonna have a
Oh,
lot of talking.
man.
If we start getting some paper letters in the mail talking about your house about to go into foreclosure, no.
See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about
Mm-mm.
right here. Pop
Well,
culture. Pop culture and plastic says a good friend of his sold all of his wrestling figures, all his Spawn figures,
mm.
comics, Star Trek stuff, because his wife at the time hated it, and they
Uh-uh.
ended up getting divorced. And he lost everything.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Stone
Mm-mm-mm.
Sour said, in a relationship, you need to put your foot down as soon as possible and let them know you're not changing. That's right.
You know, and I've said this to a guy. They were like, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that," and you know, I just said nicely, there's a woman out there that do all of that right now.
Already, go find her.
Go find her.
Yeah.
I have said that more than once. Oh, you need to change your hair. You need to wear makeup. You need to change your style of clothes. No, I ain't doing that because there's a woman out there already that got all you talking about.
Yeah.
She'll be glad to be with you. You doing nothing. You know, not if I don't want to. Not because I don't mind doing something, but you ain't about to force it. Now,
Yeah.
now who gonna pay for this?
And
You know
I've
how much it costs to get your hair done?
I'm fine with her exactly how she is. I don't what would I want to change?
Yeah.
And that's exactly the point. There was somebody out there who didn't want to do anything to her.
Hmm.
Didn't want to do anything to her, and she found him, and he's sitting right here. Because I think she's fine. I
You,
think she's gorgeous, just like that. Doesn't need she don't need any makeup and like elephant eyelashes and like a big old weave and wig and bullshit. She's beautiful just like that.
need the other half to collect as well. Yeah, because when me and David got together, I didn't collect toys. He had it.
Mhm.
And I've said this before. The only thing I complained about was he didn't have it organized.
At the time, it
And
took me
he
a
didn't
minute to
have
get
it
it sorted.
straight. And I would harp on him and nag. I did nag and clean it up. Get this stuff organized. After he organized it and you could actually see it, I was like, oh, okay, that's what this stuff is. This actually looks good. Then I got interested
Hmm.
because I could see it. And I think maybe, I don't know if this will work because all women, you can't talk to half of them. But if you take
She
them,
admitted it.
no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I know women. I work with them. I am one. You can't talk to them. They don't
half,
listen. You know,
half of them.
half of them don't
Yeah.
listen. They don't want to hear nothing. But sometimes, if you just take them slowly and calmly and point things out and explain, because David had to do that to me a couple of times with a couple of things. Explain, okay, this is what this is. This is what we're doing. This is how this goes. Now, for me, it's going to take about 5, 6 times explaining. It does, because I don't get it all the way.
However, she is willing to listen,
I
and
do
some women
listen,
are not.
but
Are not.
again, with me, if I totally 100% don't understand, it has to be explained literally about 5 to 6 times,
Hmm.
not in a row at one time. We're going to talk about it today. It'll come back up in a month. It's going to come back up 2 months later. It's going to come up until I get it. You got to make me understand, why is this the way it is? What is that? All of it. And some women are just like that, but the majority of them don't want to know nothing because they're sorry. Anyway, while I was still in high school, I bought a giant Gundam collection on
Uh-huh.
eBay. The story the seller told me was his wife hated them.
See, they're not going to be together long.
No,
They said there were new Japanese
mint,
releases sealed, but
dirt
dirt
cheap.
cheap, says Munin. And Gilgamesh says, I figure if I needed to change for someone that I'm not the person they want anyway,
You
correct.
You
And
ain't.
people don't want to take the time to find someone. They want to waste time trying to make
Yep.
someone.
And if you gotta
Good point.
make them, you don't need them.
Pop Culture says, my wife and I are happily married, but we're still individuals. She buys shoes and makeup and goes out with her friends to the movies. I do what I do. We're a couple, but we're also individuals.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if it works, it works.
She got her shoes and is over there in her space. You got your little space over here. It doesn't collide.
That's how we ended up with the jukebox.
Hmm?
You remember our jukebox?
Oh man,
The jukebox, because
yeah.
poor
Yeah.
guy's a whole man cave thing. He had his little dream of his man cave, the jukebox, because we got it sitting in the garage. I need to move it into the living room so I can finish working on
We
it.
got to find somebody to help us move it into that living room.
We can do it, but it's one of those restaurant ones, so it's like 400 or 500 pounds. So
Yes,
it's tough
big.
it's tough to move
huge.
around. The and she had decided that man cave, that shit ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I'm getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
she did.
Put it out there.
While
and
he was gone.
We came to get it, and she told us the story, and it's like, oh shit.
And the part that really was hurtful, the man wasn't even home. He was out of town on business.
Yeah.
So now he gonna come home.
No jukebox.
And see, no, I didn't say that. But yeah.
And the only
now
reason,
he's gonna come home with no jukebox.
The only reason that I did go ahead and just take it anyway is because it just it wasn't going to be there. Somebody was going to take it.
Yeah.
Somebody wasn't going to care and was going to take it, so may as well just take it.
Now I don't know why she had to throw that all in there, but
Yeah, why I don't know why she even told us. You know, it told us after we had it loaded anyways. That thing weighed a ton. We got it up onto the flatbed, but then afterward it's just like, you know, what am I going to do? Take it off and leave it here because that ain't cool. The next person will take it. I may as well take it. And I was like, wow, that's just so mean though. He's going to be back in 3 days, and I can just imagine the sparks.
Yeah.
Haven't had a chance. Muna wants to know how it's coming along. Haven't worked on it for a while because I want it in the house to work on it. It's a pain in the butt in the garage. But you know, I got the lights on. I got the money changer running. For those of you who aren't aware, it's a late 80s jukebox with that runs 45 RPM records. William says, got the Andor soundtrack on vinyl, came with a poster, and they messed it up. Poster has Andor with 2 stormtroopers, and one is reversed. I can tell by the shin armor. Yeah, because the shin armor is different on each leg. Okay. So it's a reversed image. They cheated. And Mark Franco is here.
Hey, Mark.
From Cape Cod.
Cape Cod, beautiful Cape Cod, Maine.
Purveyor of potato chips, kettle chips. I like Cape Cod.
I would like to visit
in the fall.
The Maine, that Maine area. A lot of lighthouses there, the ocean, the cliffs, you know, the fall, just looking at the leaves because there's a lot of maple trees up there.
Yes,
I think
it's pretty.
Very beautiful. I want to visit that.
But area. The jukebox, it's just unfortunate the circumstances. But we got it home. It's in the garage. Worked on it a little bit. Lights are going. Money changer is running again. Late 80s jukebox. It's not the prettiest jukebox, but it's ours.
Exactly.
You know, it's ours, and we'll put it up in the living room because we have 3 now.
3 what?
3 of the
vinyl
record cabinets that I built. I built 3 for LPH, and she put
hey, Dr. Cohen.
Dr. Cohen is here. He said from Springfield, Mass. Love the retro photo. Haven't changed. The one that we put up on Facebook today. It's about 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
I built them for her. She put the seal on them. The stain. She stained them, and they're full now. So that's about 1,500 records taken care of because I think they hold 500 a piece, don't they? Something like that.
Yeah, or so.
Yeah, and then so we'll put the jukebox up there too. We got the record player up there. We love listening to our vinyl, and that'd work. That'd go great with it. That would work perfectly. And Munin says, glad you got it because you actually appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. And we want to get that running. Just 45s. What about no,
that's the standard. Jukeboxes play 45 records,
and that
because then it's just one song each, and then and then some of them used to play 8 tracks, and
some of them play cassette,
and then there's in the later years they had the ones that played CDs,
and now I think it's all digital
now, and that sucks.
That jukebox came with 45s.
Yeah, there's a ton of them in
already got the labels on there.
Yeah.
But then we got a ton of 45s.
Yes.
We went to a yard sale. It was like an estate sale up the street. And the person had like a ton of 45s. Dernier gave it away. That's where we had got those Nancy Drew books for what? $5.
A whole, and the bookshelf too,
and the bookshelf,
because the guy, they were clearing it out, and I was like, well, just ask him, because she loves the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books, the vintage ones, and he was like, yeah, just ask me. $5, take the bookshelf too. And there's like 50 of them in there.
Yeah, it was like the whole set, and I had already had some, but I was like, man, he got the whole set, but I didn't know which ones I had. So I was like, well, let's see how much he wants. And then I can just fill it in and then take out the ones I don't need.
And he had a rack. It was an old 45 RPM floor rack.
Yeah.
Completely full of 45s. And he wanted $5 or something for that too. And
The
it's like,
guy just wanted
take the whole.
everything out of
We
the
got the rack
house.
sitting down there full of
Yeah.
45s. It's like, yeah, take it home.
And then we left something, had to go back. And then we just picking through stuff outside. And
He
he's like,
said,
just
just
take
take it.
everything. It was like, good Lord.
That
Okay.
those sometimes you just really score. Pop
Yeah.
Culture says his wife's boss is a huge pop culture fan. He goes to all the Comic-Con type gatherings. We have a good long chats, and my wife rolls her eyes and giggles to herself. He collects everything. As long as she lets you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Munin says, by the way, he got the sticker residue completely off the Fantasia VHS I
Oh.
sent. Still sealed and looking great. Yeah. And for those of you who aren't aware, we did a trivia contest a couple of weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
Munin won, and the prize was a sealed Fantasia VHS.
Yeah.
Because I try to do that. We do the trivia contest from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to give a little prize, a little piece of nostalgia, something
Yeah.
like that
Trying to
for
think
people.
of another one. It's easy to do the music ones. I
We
think
could do that one again. People had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
That was fun. And
It was
what
fun.
we did was I took lyrics from original 70s and 80s songs that
Yeah.
people would recognize if they heard the song, but I just plainly read the lyrics. And people, makes you think. It's like, what the hell is that? And then you know it, because a lot of times people hear the lyrics or they listen to a song and they don't know what the hell they're saying.
Yeah, you don't really pay attention. And then like a couple of times, because it's always a song, and we'll be listening to something, and if you're just quiet and not really, I mean, and you're kind of paying attention, you're like, hey, wait a minute, what did that
The
just
hell
say?
did he just say? The hell are they talking about?
And then and it really makes you listen to the hey
Yes.
Austin.
Austin Bird is here today.
So I like listening to lyrics, and a lot of times what I do is on YouTube I'll find the video with the lyrics so I
Yes.
can read them like, oh, okay. Especially on songs that I hear on TV, these modern songs, and you're like, are they even speaking English? What are they saying? I'll look it up on YouTube just to see
Yeah.
what they're saying with the lyrics. And I'm like, these words don't even make sense.
And it's kind of funny, especially if it's something like that's really, really popular. Like a couple of examples were, what was the one?
Wow World.
Don't push me.
Mm-hmm.
The from
The Message.
the message,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And the lyrics made poetic lyrics made a lot of sense,
Mm-hmm.
telling a story. And it's like, okay, because that's a really popular rap song from the 80s, and it's like, okay, this is a real clear message, it makes sense, I totally get it. And then you listen to another really popular rap song from the 80s that I read also, Run DMC, and it was completely brainless, blithering garbage. It was anything that rhymes, throw it together, and listening to the lyrics, and it's like, this is stupid. But man, it was, and Run DMC was as popular as all get up in the 80s. One of the biggest rap groups ever, and it's like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. What the hell is this?
David wants us to do music or horror movies. But I thought about movies, and I'm like, how would you do a movie? How, I mean, I know and I can watch some videos on movie trivia just to see. I know you probably just ask a question about it, and then you got to figure out the movie. But I'll look and see how that goes. Because I don't want to just do music. I like music though. I think it's fun. But we had a good time doing that, and I think a lot of people like it.
Mm-hmm.
I showed the Fantasia VHS to my family. Yeah. My father thought it was awesome. He actually knew about the visuals in Fantasia.
He probably saw it, because that's an old Fantasia was what, 50s?
I think so.
Yeah.
I heard that was one of the best Disney. Animated. I've never seen it.
It's basically music videos, but classical, put to classical music, and it's brilliantly done. It's brilliantly done. And it's fantastic animation. And DC says going to make me go meet. Oh, and at ZoloCon in 2 weeks, bringing a large bucket of popcorn. Will be looking to complete the Skeleton Warriors collection. He needs the horse.
Just the horse.
That's good. Pop Culture says for many, many years he thought the Don Henley song Boys of Summer was called Poison Summer. Misheard lyrics.
You know what?
Yeah.
Layla by Eric Clapton is
Yeah.
not, when you hear it sounds like Hey Love. I always thought
That's right.
Hey Love. That's
It's
what I
Layla.
thought it was,
That's
but it's
right.
Layla. Misheard.
Yeah, misheard.
But then if you hear, because he got the slow down
Mhm.
version and you can hear it clearly, but when you hear the like speeded up version, I think the live version is faster. You don't hear Layla at all.
Uh-huh. I'm not familiar with Ishcom.
Oh, Durham, North Carolina is
Yeah.
a Mythic Legion con mostly. Do you know?
Oh,
And
yeah, we're not familiar with
we
it.
don't go to Harley, North Carolina. I do want to go to Heroes Con, and I might try to plan that next year. I've always heard it was really, really good. It's one of the bigger shows in North Carolina. A lot of people go there, and I think it would be fun to go.
Mm-hmm. And Mark Frankel says saw Wilt Chamberlain pop, had to pick it up at
Oh
the
wow!
mall. Favorite growing up next to Bill Russell,
Mm.
and picked up a Wolfman. I now have 3, including the Garloo pop of only 1,000.
You
Yeah,
only
I've
got
got
3 pops? Oh, you need to get on the ball.
yeah, I've got up here. I've got the those are the right here. Those are the Shindana toys, O.J. Simpson and Dr. J 9-inch figures from the 1970s.
That
Darren
is a
says
good one.
White and Nerdy by Weird Al. Yeah,
That is a good one.
that's
Video
better
is,
than the song he's doing the parody of.
yeah. And the video was good. I like watching the videos for Weird Al. They're funny.
For any of you who have ever seen or familiar with Shindana toys, Munin
Who's
says since
already
Pops came up, the
what?
recent SDC exclusives are already peg warming at GameStop.
I
They have
only
not
wanted 2 and
sold.
I got my 2, but there are a few that's
Papa
coming
Smurf.
out that I kind of want. I'm thinking of Beetlejuice because I got Beetlejuice when the original wave came
Mhm.
out, but I only want like Lydia and actual Beetlejuice, not them other people.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but it is a couple. They every so often they just put something out. And I really
Yeah,
want it.
every once in a while it hit, and that's basically what's kept them alive is it hits the nostalgia button. It's
Mhm.
not at the frenzy it was. It has faded away over the years,
Yeah.
which is inevitable with any toy line. I know people used to get mad at me when I would say it, but that's just how it is. You
Yeah.
know, it's nothing personal. If people collect pops and they enjoy it, you do that. You collect them and enjoy it. You know,
I collect pops and hydrants.
there you are. Patrick says they have an AI Elvis singing songs he never sang before on YouTube.
Now, have y'all seen this
AI
commercial? What
Elvis.
is the commercial? I think it's the Tide Pods commercial, and they got a family. Oh, it's 2 families. No, it's one family. It's a
Okay.
guy, the woman, and then the little kids, and they're talking about Tide Pods and how you get your clothes clean. Have you ever watched those people's mouths? The mouth
Not
doesn't.
just the Tide commercial. Many of the commercials I've been noticing that
Yeah.
too. That the lips they do not match the words that are being spoken.
Yeah, but you can see it real
Mhm.
clear on that Tide Pod commercial. And then it cuts away to this doctor at the end talking about, allergens and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's like
watch the
watching a kung
mouth.
fu movie.
Yeah, the
It
mouth
doesn't match.
doesn't match um your words. And it's like,
It's
what is
weird.
that? Yeah, it
I
looks
think
really
I
creepy.
think I think that they're dubbing over the
Oh,
actors' voices with AI generated
but
voices.
why? Why would you need that?
I don't know, but I think that's what it is. Is your Papa Smurf down here?
Yeah.
So I can show it so people can see what they were talking
Yeah, I got mine at Target. They only had 2,
about.
and I got the Wicked Witch from Walgreens, and they had
That's
2. Papa Smurf.
that's
Let
the
me move that.
Papa Smurf. I can't fault her. I mean, it's Smurfs.
I got the whole Smurf wave.
I'm a fan of the Smurfs.
Mm-hmm.
Smurfs are happiness.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
Smurfs.
the
I like
Smurfs.
the show, the
Smurfs are
TV
cool.
show.
The show is hilarious. It still holds up.
I only have about 10 pops. They're all bobbleheads. Not a big fan of pops. The ones I do have, I like though. Well, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And that was Wham.
You don't have to have 500 of them.
No. Only some people got 500.
Munin says Pokemon Acreus Pop arrived by the caseload. It just seems like nobody cares. Destined for clearance. While I don't collect Pokemon, it's a nice piece. Fair enough. But yeah, it's not the frenzy is gone. The days of people like 90 people standing in line out in front of Hot Topic and bum rushing the place when they open it to get the new pops are dead.
Yeah.
You know, that's all faded away.
That's how it was when we started.
The sticker chasers are gone. They don't care anymore. You know, it's fading away. Pop culture says a lot of retailers here have reduced the Funko Pop shelf space. Yeah, that you've seen that too.
Yeah.
It's like once upon a time, even in GameStop, they had a whole wall dedicated. It was like 20, 30 feet of pops, and now it's like one segment.
Yeah.
And he says, I picked up 4 1989 Batman pops the other day and was surprised at the reduced shelf space. Smurfs are awesome.
Yeah, I got the original Smurfs. Then they came back out with
Smurfs.
Like Smurfette and Hefty. Handy. And somebody else. And I got those. So if they come out with something, because I always got TV shows mainly, but it was always TV shows that I've watched. I never got into like the Marvels, the Star Wars, the Lord of the Rings. Those were the big ones. I never got into those. So that's why I was kind of okay with it. Yeah. But when they come out with stuff like Beetlejuice, they got The Thing coming out, Masters of the Universe, stuff like that I watched and actually liked, I don't mind picking them up. But I don't buy them often, and I don't go out hunting for them, you know.
Yeah.
Smurfs are happiness. I say anime is happiness.
Hey, that's fine.
Everybody got their
William
thing.
wanted to know if I still had extra some of the. Yeah, I still have a bag full of those. I did trade.
Oh yeah.
I traded a few to a friend for something else, but I still have a bunch of them. I haven't done too much with it yet.
Oh yeah. I got back into G.I. Joe Classified. I'm really enjoying them now that I did more than I did before. Love Rakondo.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now you can enjoy it because when you go to the store, you can find it.
Yeah.
But when they originally came out, you couldn't find them. And that's what took all of the fun out of it.
Yeah, that killed it for me. I didn't even care anymore. I didn't want them.
Yeah, and that's one of the main reasons why I got out of Pops. I got out of the Ninja Turtles from NECA.
Yeah.
And it was another toy line that I was trying to collect. And you couldn't find it. Excuse me. So that's why I stopped. Because it was like, you can't find this stuff. So you didn't want to be bothered.
Yeah. Raccoon says they only stocked Hot Topic once, the glow-in-the-dark mummy Elvira. Luckily, I knew the girl working, so we just chatted till UPS came.
And I snagged one.
Yeah, there you go. And Pop Culture says they have a huge vintage Smurf collection. The large houses can be expensive when boxed and complete. Oh, yeah, he's talking the old P.O. stuff, right?
Oh, wow. I never seen the houses.
Yeah, those are cool because you could put together a whole village from the P.O.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The 70s and early 80s stuff.
We only got the little figurines.
I've got a couple of hundred of the little figurines, and she's got a bunch too.
Yeah, because it was a bunch of the duplicates, so I got some, and he got some, and I think it was still some extra.
But I just like the Smurfs anyway because the show's great.
It is. It's a fun show to watch because the Smurfs aren't scary at all. They aren't scared of anything.
They're brave.
Yeah, they stand up to Gargamel and beat him up all the time. You would think being that small, they would be scared and terrified of Gargamel, but they're not.
Yeah.
You guys are completely right. I have a good friend who would travel all over for Pops. Long story short, he doesn't anymore. Now he's insane over One Piece cards.
One Piece. And David says their local Walmarts are not carrying G.I. Joe or Motu, but Target is.
Ours doesn't have any more Masters of the Universe or G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
And they don't have any more McFarlane
that's
either.
right.
Because I've been looking, it's a couple of McFarlane pieces I would like. Um, but I don't know if they're going to be in a store. I think you can only get them online, and I ain't trying to get them.
Okay.
I don't really care that much. If I saw them in the store or at the show like we were today, is that guy that got like everyone, he wasn't there today. And it was another guy that had a bunch of McFarlane figures. He didn't have the ones I want. If I
Hmm.
see it, I would get it. But to go online and pay tax and shipping, I ain't really willing, you know?
Yeah, I understand that. Gilgamesh said the NECA Ninja Turtles are getting easier to find. Now it's going scarce again.
Yeah. Yeah, after a while, people got fed up and got tired. Then it
Yeah,
was easy to find. They were everywhere. But by then, I was done.
sure.
So unlike David, I kept all my stuff. David gets mad and sells all his stuff.
Not
I
always. It
kept mine.
depends.
Do it them
I cherry pick.
classifieds you did.
Yeah, I sold a bunch of those. I
Hey
did sell a
Edwin,
bunch of
how are
those.
you? Just got back from running around.
Did you see the McFarlane Blues Brothers figure? Thinking about buying them. I did not see that.
Mm-mm. I didn't see
I
those.
didn't see the Blues Brothers.
Mm-mm.
Is it Blues Brothers or Blues Brothers 2000? They never should have made a sequel to that.
Oh really? That's the
Yeah,
one with
John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd.
was in 2000.
No,
That was Goodman.
John Goodman was in
Hmm
2000.
hmm
It did. Blues Brothers 2000 didn't need to happen.
Was it a sequel or like a continuation? I mean, was it a reboot or a
A
continuation?
continuation.
Okay.
Only they switched out Elwood.
That's because Belushi was dead.
Yes.
Hmm
Frankenfrog says if you can't find the product you're looking for in a store, the hobby is no longer a hobby; it's a chore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
and
it
then
just takes the
the
fun out of
expense
it.
is higher than you think too, because you have to factor in travel time, fuel, all sorts of things. If you ran around to 10 different stores all day and came home empty-handed, uh, you've lost a lot more than just whatever you might have spent.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, when you go online, the price is usually higher, and
Uh-huh.
it's like I don't want to pay a higher price. I want to pay what it's in the store because it's still in the store. I just can't find it. Now, if it's like years later and the price is inflated, in your mind, you can kind of go with that.
Hmm.
But if it's still in the store and they're asking for an inflated price, it's like, no, I ain't doing that.
Munich says, speaking of Hot Topic, several around him closed, and their anime shirts ended up in Burlington with the Topic sticker still attached. But they just put their sticker over the other one, and
Yeah, Turtles of Grayskull is super easy to find.
yeah,
Wait,
he's
5 and 6.
surprised they lasted this long. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
And Munin says, to be fair, it's either NECA Ninja Turtles or those asinine looking things Playmates puts out. Oh yeah, the Playmates still makes turtles also. And Edwin says Jake and El Rot. Is that the 2000?
No, Elroy. He meant to say Elroy.
Elwood is Elroy, because Elwood is from the first movie, right? So is Elroy from the second film? I don't remember.
I never seen it.
I do not remember. But yeah, Turtles of Grayskull. I don't know. It's too much. But yeah, you got what Mattel cranking out 5 or 6 different lines
Hmm
of Masters of the Universe. You got um, Mondo making 2 now because they're going to
Yeah.
start doing 12th scale.
Yeah.
You've got who else? Playmates is still making them. You've got NECA making them. Oh no, not
Everybody. You're getting
no,
them
no.
mixed up
Yeah, I'm
now.
getting them mixed up because yeah, they're all mixed up. Masters of the Universe. I'm thinking of. Um,
Have you heard 30 is making 74 Godzilla based on the 74 Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla?
no, I don't know if I saw that.
I
I don't
know
think
you
I saw
haven't
that.
shown it, so
No, I didn't show it. I can't find everything. I show as much as is realistic. I don't even show all the pops because if I did, it would be an hour just on Funko Pops because they still produce that much.
really.
It's insane how much they
I
produce.
don't know, but what you see, sometimes I'll
Yeah,
see
and I
something.
show some of the stuff that's a little more interesting, basically.
Hmm.
Uh, uh,
Yeah.
David says Ninja Turtles is oversaturated. Ninja Turtles is worse than the Masters of the
Yeah,
Universe.
it is. It is. It's just
They all are, and it's
constantly.
all the same stuff over and over and over again, and that's what makes it frustrating. We were thinking about doing
Mm.
a fading nostalgia discussion on the modern action figures.
I think we did that already, didn't
Oh no, no, we've talked about it in live segments like this,
we?
but we
Oh.
haven't done a dedicated video on the subject
Oh.
because it's like, all of these companies are making the same things over and over and over again, and it's all vintage nostalgic properties. Make something else. That's why I was kind of excited to see Mattel bringing back the Street Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
At least it hasn't been done since the late 80s,
Yeah.
and the original ones are stupid expensive. They
Mm.
cost a lot because they had that rubber skin over them, and these
Mm-hmm.
kids tore that shit apart. They made a mess out of it. Edwin says McFarlane puts out too much. I think the quality went down. I don't collect anything McFarlane, so I don't know.
I have a couple of McFarlane pieces. It's a couple of the DC characters that I like, and I'll get those. But I don't get like everything. Like everybody do. But
Hmm.
just a few here and there, and it's still, I want to say about three or four that I would like. But again, I don't see them in store at our Walmart. They don't have any McFarlane on the shelf. I don't go to Target. I went to the Target for the first time during SDCC to get that pop figure, and I ain't been there in years. Um, I don't know if I saw McFarlane figures or not. I was just looking for that pop, and I was trying to see if they had that Toxic Crusader
Hmm.
because Walmart only had the one, and it's
Yeah,
supposed to be two in the wave, and I only saw one.
that's right. Dr. Kilmoff you need, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gilgamesh said the Blues Brothers are the non-posable figures in the movie Mannix line. Oh, so they're figurines then.
Oh.
And Munin said Ninja Turtles is well oversaturated. Several toy lines across different brands and
Yeah,
crossovers.
all these different crossovers. And I mean, NECA's doing the
Excuse me.
crossovers because they got the Ninja Turtle Universal Monster crossover.
Yeah.
And then Playmates is doing, or Mattel, somebody's doing the Ninja Turtle Masters of the Universe crossover.
Uh huh.
And it's like, golly, how many things you need to cross them over with?
Yeah. And Gilgamesh says that there's a tease for Thundercats
Oh,
Motu. Oh,
God.
jeez.
Are you serious? I
Yeah.
mean, what's the point in all of these crossovers?
I don't know.
I mean, I would rather see you pair them up than merge them together.
Yeah.
Now, I did get into the Masters of the Universe wrestling crossover, and when they did the Ninja
Motu
Turtle,
wrestling or the Ninja Turtle wrestling.
yeah, they had the Masters of the Universe.
Oh,
Um,
you did get a couple of
yeah,
those. Yeah.
and I was just about to say when they did the turtle wrestling
She
crossovers.
got the
I got it.
Playmates ones though, the
Yeah,
big ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
those were cool. Yeah, but now it's just like, okay, now you're crossing everything
It's too
over.
much.
Yeah, it's like, golly, I'd rather see pair ups than crossovers. And you can easily do that with Transformers because all you have to do is put the figure with a Transformer because the Transformer transforms into a vehicle.
Yeah, you just
So just
repaint
put
it.
them together, in the same box. Like, oh, he's driving that vehicle, or
Like the GI Joe ones make a little more sense.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you got the Transformer and then a figure, and it's like, okay, the figure is driving the vehicle.
Hmm.
That makes sense. But then to cross them and then they merge into the one, it's like, do I really need that?
Probably not. Probably not.
With all the new reveals that got shown at SDCC, it's looking very slim for me next year. I have no interest in the majority of what's shown.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to see interest, there's plenty of channels where people are gushing. I thought it was a lot too. It's like, come on. And Munin says they're curious about McFarlane Bleach because of the soft goods on the figures. Generally, he doesn't buy McFarlane.
Bleach is an anime, ain't
Yes.
it? Okay.
And yeah, that's what we were saying.
Oh yeah, I heard
Mondo's going to
that.
make 200x Motu 112 scales. That's correct.
I have the originals
Price
of
point,
those.
I'm curious about because remember those Ghostbuster um, Legends scale, which is slightly off from 112. Two packs are over $200. So how much of those 200x? It'd be cheaper to go buy the original ones.
I don't know if the original ones got how what their prices are because I got mine back in the mid 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
and I got like almost all of them, and they weren't that expensive then. I don't know what they are now. What would the world be like without toys?
A wasteland. People would have to go back to fighting in the streets for entertainment.
They could
Gilgamesh,
listen to records.
yeah, they could listen to records. Gilgamesh says, I lucked up and got McFarlane's Superman figure from the Plastic Man way for retail. All I wanted was to complete Plastic Man and wasn't going to pay 50 to scalpers.
Hmm. But if it wasn't toys, people would probably have imagination because, like before toys, you made up your own games
Yeah,
and you
but
made up your own stuff.
well, we still had imagination when we were kids with toys, but now people they got. You want to know what life would be like without toys? Look at kids today because they don't play with them.
Yeah, they play with the phone.
This is them. They just like this all day. Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh, did you hear what he said? Oh snap! Watching crappy TikTok videos about people shaking their ass or putting Cheetos up their nose or something stupid.
Will these crossovers be worth anything? Will any of these
Who
modern toys
knows?
be worth anything in the
Not as
future?
much as people think.
Star Trek Transformers, really? Oh, in the comics,
They crossed over Star
5
Trek with
issues.
Green Lantern too, in the comics.
Oh, really?
Yep. And Edwin says they got F-bombed for saying "excuse me" because they were blocking the aisle. I went through anyway, and they told me to stay away from.
Oh my God!
As oh, there goes Edwin causing problems, stirring up mess. And DC says that any real toy action figures, everything's marked as collectible to adults.
Yes.
I rarely see kids in the toy aisle. And that's why I go back to this. And that's an action figure. You can't hurt this. Play value. The modern stuff, it's too fragile. You could beat the hell out of these. You know, they don't make them like that anymore.
Hey, John, how are you doing? We're
Oh,
doing good.
just got the live stream
Just
notification.
got the notification.
You know, we didn't.
You're like 3 hours late.
Yeah, we didn't just jump in. You know, we set it up early.
Yeah. It wasn't as early as it should have been, though.
Dale wants Hogan's Heroes. Sideshow made them
Oh, yeah.
in 1/6 scale back in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, actually Sideshow 1/6 scale
The earlier
action
stuff,
figures. Yeah, they're
worthless.
cheap.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
real cheap.
You can find them for under $100. Cause I got
except for Barnabas.
Yeah, the Twilight Zone. I got the Twilight Zone.
Outer Limits.
Outer Limits.
They did Charmed, right? Or
I don't
something
know.
like that.
I don't know.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
In the Universal Monsters.
Were cheap.
You can get them all for under $100, except for in the Outer Limits. It's like one figure.
The bug.
Yeah, that bug or ant or whatever it was. That one's like over 100.
And it's very fragile.
Yeah.
It breaks easy.
Yeah. But outside of that,
yeah,
it's cheap.
They did Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Those aren't very expensive.
Yeah.
And they did do Hogan's Heroes. And Munin says Ninja Turtles crossover with WWE. No idea how they did in the stores.
Yeah, I bought mine aftermarket, but it was cheap when I got it. Because like I said, it was the mid 2000s when I got mine. So I don't know where they are right now as far as prices.
Gilgamesh would like to see an Enterprise Transformer.
Like Galvatron, not Galvatron.
Well,
Unicron?
they did Star Wars Transformer crossovers with Star Wars vehicles that transformed.
Oh, really?
They did that some years ago. And David got the Kenner Ghostbusters all 4 and Stay Puft for $35.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see?
You can find stuff if you're willing to look. One good crossover I have is the vintage Macedonia
Transformers. The crossover I like is the McDonald's Transformers that turn into little food.
Ah, just got in
Oh,
from seeing
Severus is here.
Deadpool.
How did you like it? I've heard mixed because
Yeah,
some people said, "Oh, it's fantastic," and some people said it's really not that funny and it's really vulgar. I've heard both, so
yeah.
you know
David want those
what.
McDonald's Happy Meal
Those are cool.
Transformers.
And there's like what, a dozen of them? I forget how many they made because there's two waves. There's two waves of those. And Austin Bird said, "If you're a superhero, what would your superpower be? Mine would be invisibility.
What would I
Invisibility.
want to do?
I want to be like the guy from Perfect Storm.
Oh yeah, telepath. Not
Well,
telepathic.
he
Like a psychic.
you couldn't tell that guy nothing.
Mm-mm.
He if people would start giving him a hard time or talking to him because remember they were holding him in jail,
Mm.
and when he looked at a person, he instantly knew their sin. He knew whatever dirty, nasty, awful thing they had in their past or currently were doing, and he would just start telling them, "Oh, so you like beating your wife, don't you? You know, whatever." He just knew what, and that would be great to because you have all them hypocrites out there and they're telling you something and you'd be like, "Hey, that's really funny because," and then you just know whatever their evil deeds are.
I want to have the power of healing. I want to be
Oh
able to
yeah,
heal people.
you can heal all of the people after I'm done with them and all their little tears. Nerd says, "Oh, they meant to say McDonald's, not Macedonia."
Oh,
That
okay.
yeah, that's that autocorrect screwing things up because AI works so damn well. They've been using autocorrect on cell phones for like 15, 20 years, and that shit still doesn't work. Frankenfrog says they have a TikTok where they shake their butt and put Cheetos in their nose. You must make a lot of money then. Because that's all anybody wants to see. If I did that here, I'd have 1 million people watching.
Oh my
Isn't
god.
that sad?
Mm-hmm.
We sit here and do this, and I've made the analogy because there's a lot of channels that they don't have half the subscribers we do. Every video they put out, they get like 10,000 views because they're being evil.
Yeah.
They're feuding with somebody, or they're doing clickbait, but we don't want to do that.
No.
We don't want to do that. Munin says they remember the Star Wars Transformer crossovers at Toys R Us. I think they were exclusives, weren't they? That was many years ago. They went to clearance when they finally sold, but they think they're valuable now.
Some things, because again, like we always say, the
Mhm.
toys that we collect now were on clearance.
Yes.
And now they're worth hundreds.
Yes.
It might be. You never
It
know.
depends. It
You
depends.
never know.
But I think, back then we weren't at an oversaturation point like
That's
we
true.
are now.
And now people don't take the toys out the box.
No, nothing comes out of the package now.
No.
Back then, people were still opening things,
Yeah.
and a lot
Playing with
has
them.
changed in the last decade at the very least.
Yeah.
And it's been an explosion, and they just keep cranking the stuff out. It doesn't stop coming.
No.
It doesn't stop coming, and that's another reason why I default to vintage. If you finish a line, it's finished,
Yeah, it's
and
done.
that is it. That is it.
What?
Johnny Future's back. He says you're still live.
You
Yeah,
finished working already?
For a
That's
little
not
while.
8 hours.
I know. Yeah, I know. He must supervise. John says he's grateful to have lived in the times that they did. That in today's generation, I might have overdosed on Tide Pods and Flintstones vitamins and drinking Red Bull with NyQuil chasers. They still make Flintstone vitamins, don't they?
I have no idea.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same. I've got Flintstones vitamins premiums. I've shown them before. The cups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
they
cups.
the 1 a day plus 1 a day owns Flintstone vitamins are owned, and they had the mail away drinking cups for children that they did in the 60s and in the 70s. William regrets getting rid of his Star Wars Transformers. I wonder if Warren still has them. Warren had those.
Oh,
those
yeah?
Star Wars Transformers. Yeah, he did.
Mm.
And Gilgamesh says Hasbro's announced they're doing Star Wars Transformers again.
Again. Oh, boy. I hope it'll be good. The ones before were some of the worst. They might be better. Who knows? You
Yeah.
gotta wait and see.
And Nerd says, I love how eclectic your collection is and how you're both so genuine.
Oh, thank you.
As you call being organic. And yeah, no teleprompter.
Mm-mm.
No, we're not,
Off the cuff.
this is just us. And this is
All day.
how we are anyway. So and we just share it with
Oh,
the
just
people who
checking
watch.
in since I have time now.
Slacking, eh?
The majority of work is time. You don't be working 8 hours. Not 8 full hours. I think one job I had, I worked 8 hours. I mean, well, it was a 12-hour
Yeah.
shift, and I worked all 12. And that's when I went to a certain, a different location.
Mhm.
And at that location, I was the only manager there. So
Okay.
you worked the whole time. But when I was at the other location, the other two, I didn't do nothing but watch videos and worked on projects.
Yeah.
Do nothing. I,
McNichol wants to know if it's worth collecting O-ring figures. He likes them loose. Vintage ones, do you mean? Do you mean vintage ones? And
hey, JG.
JG has joined us. JG likes Funko. See a little icon?
Yeah, I
Yes.
like Funko
It's like
too,
little
and there's a
Funko
few out
figures.
there that I'm gonna get.
And Unit says the new Star Wars Transformers will end up at Ollie's.
Here we go. K Muni loves saying, you don't
Next
know,
to the
people might
starting
really
lineups.
want them.
Yeah, they might want them. Who knows?
You never know.
And William says David and LPH unscripted, and unplugged. That's right. But yeah, it's this is just us, and we just share that. And so there's a lot of people who seem to just appreciate that, and that's fine. If we can make somebody happy, that's cool.
Yeah, you can
McNichol
get your
says
mind
yes.
off of some things while we sitting here.
Well, I like them, and even though the rings do tend over time, they can break down.
Yeah.
The O-ring can be replaced, and they have a kit for it. So that's so yeah.
EVH Pop.
If you wanted to check that out, David McNichol, there's nothing wrong with that. I've got them loose and carded. You see, I got the carded ones here, but I've got them loose and carded, and most of them held up over the years. But
Oh.
I have had to replace a handful of O-rings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard. There are a couple that won't open, like for example, Xandar. For some reason, they glued him, so it's tough to get Xandar open because usually you just take the screw out of his back and you can open it up, put the new O-ring in, and reseal it, and you're good to go. But yeah. And Johnny says you like those Hulk Hogan variant action figures from Target. I sent photos the other day. Hulk Hogan variant action figures. Did you send photos of Hulk Hogan?
Oh, thank you. To a
I'm
million
trying to remember.
miles.
Oh yeah, he did.
Now.
He did. I know what you're talking about now. I know what you're talking
Genuine.
about now.
And that's why I tune in. Well, we thank you so much for that. We don't want no drama here. You got enough of that every day.
Yeah, the
in
ones
life.
that are on clearance. But yeah, I don't collect any of the any modern wrestling figures, anyways.
From a road trip to an antique store with my wife, our nieces and their teenage friends were talking to each other around the dinner table via.
There shouldn't even be a cell phone at the dinner table, and I'll just leave that right there.
I told you I was at this.
Even when we go out to a restaurant, we do not.
No.
We put the phones away. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was at this concert. It was an outdoor concert, and it was before it was starting. And you kind of sit on the grass and you bring your lawn chairs or whatever. And it's like me and then this woman and I guess the mother and the kid is sitting. We all on one row, and there's a guy behind us, her husband, and they're texting each other. I guess having an argument because she would keep looking back with this angry look. And it's like you can't just get up and go over there and talk about this.
No. That's how they talk all the time. That's why they don't get along. Hey, you lose that personability. You lose that human interaction.
Yeah, but then you can't connect with people. You don't know how to connect. You don't know how to talk to people, and you get constantly offended. Everything somebody says, you're offended because you don't talk to nobody to know that. Okay, people got inflections. They might stress a word. It don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's this dude at work like that, and now nobody wants to talk to him
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter what you say. He's offended by it. You say good morning. Don't tell me good morning. And, he got this story behind that. I ain't gonna get into that, but and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't say nothing to him no more. Then I didn't
Yeah.
say nothing. I waved at him, but I said hello to the next guy. And why didn't she say hello to me? It's like,
Because you're a pain in the ass.
yeah, it's like,
Next.
dude,
Yeah.
nobody got time for you. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's side conversation.
Oh, okay, my bad.
They're going on and on. That's
Mhm.
okay. Where am I here?
Right there.
Johnny says they had the early outfits Hogan's wore, and that's the only reason you bought them. That's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
That's fine. And JG down there says that he can't remember what O-rings are for. They're the thick black elastic that connects the upper torso to the lower hip section.
Should
It's
be
a
a sport.
little hook inside the legs there.
How many can you do in 5 minutes, David?
I don't know. I haven't done one in a long time. And William says he's the only one at the factory who leaves the phone at home on break. Everyone's on their phone except for me. I used to, when I worked at Frito-Lay, I used to read a book during break. I'd keep books in my locker, and I would read it during my break time.
When I'm at the job site and we're waiting to get the job started, I sit and read my comic books. Everybody else is on the phone,
Watching
looking at
porn.
videos and
Watching
stupid
porn.
videos.
Just tell the truth. Watching
I
porn.
don't know if it's porn, but boy, it's stupid stuff.
They're watching breasts and behinds is what they're doing. they're looking at women jumping on trampolines. Just tell the truth. You know that's what they're doing because you've caught them.
I
You've
caught
looked
two people.
See, there it is. Come on, I knew it.
I have caught two people. I don't know. Yeah. Social media has made people very self-centered. I mean, they were already self-centered already, but it just brought it out more. If you go to a restaurant in your financial district,
says Severus,
at lunch, people are head down on phone.
Yeah.
And question the value of business lunches these days.
Johnny puts his phone away in the movie. You know what's a pain in the butt? Seeing all those phone lights in the movie theater.
You paid all that money, you ain't watching it.
Yeah. The movie's going and you're texting somebody or something. Put the damn phone away.
Someone to start drooling when I say hi to them. Never had a Star Wars such a crowd in comics. Oh yeah,
I don't believe
know.
so. I don't believe so. Not that I'm aware of.
Come on,
tell us a story, LPH. Don't hold back. Yeah, well,
I mean, it ain't nothing bad. I just don't want to, offend anybody.
I'll offend somebody.
Well,
I'll
the
offend
guy,
somebody in a heartbeat.
I'll tell you the story because I mean, it ain't bad. It's just somebody's thought, but it's dumb.
Yeah.
So I say, now the guy, you gotta know because it's for context. The guy is black. Okay. So you say, "Good morning." Don't tell me good morning. I'm like, why not? It's morning time. Because the slave master used to tell the slaves good morning because the night before they killed somebody. So they said, yeah. So I just looked.
Oh my God.
And I just walked off.
I'm pretty sure that phrasing was around long before.
I'm just telling you what the man says. So I don't talk to him. I wave now.
Oh,
and I just say,
God.
hey. I just say, hey.
That's
I give him a wave and I say, hey.
Yeah.
And that's all I do. I'm just like,
talk
dude,
to
I ain't got
person
time for you
anyways.
because you got too many issues. Everything is an offense. If it doesn't matter what you say to this guy, he is offended.
Yes.
Don't matter what you say. We're actually talking about that Friday. Like, dude, nobody wants to talk to you because you're always offended. No matter what you say.
Yeah.
I wonder, you think most people that watch your channel are in their 50s or 60s? I don't
Robert
know.
says
I
probably.
don't know.
I would say that the median age range is probably lands in the 40s because we do have some young people that watch.
I think Gilgamesh is young.
Not too young, like I'm talking like 20s maybe, but the median probably falls into the 40s
I
on
think
on the
Gilgamesh
average.
and K Munin might be in their 30s.
I don't know.
I'm just
They
saying.
can say
Yeah. But they might not.
if they want to say.
But they might be like this one girl I know. She would always say something about her age, and then if you asked her age, oh, I'm a woman, I don't tell my age. It's like, well, what the heck you brought that up for then?
That's something that old ladies say in the 50s.
Yeah, she was in her 50s too.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
A friend of mine sits on her phone with her kids sitting there on their phone. I just look at them.
I don't blame you.
Shake my head.
Robert says he's 56.
Robert's 56.
Okay. Well, that's why he asked. Johnny said people say I'm watching it. No, you're not. Then what just happened? They cannot answer that. Yeah. And you all know my story about the A-Team. Marvel fan says many years ago I worked on a base during lunch. I read the Exorcist book. All three took me a few months. I was very uncool at work for doing that.
The
You like
Exorcist.
read stuff and things
I
and
know.
stuff, like reading and
This
stuff.
one guy, young guy, I was reading one of my comics, and he was like, "Oh, you read manga?" I'm like, "No, I read comics." And then somehow he was like, "Yeah, I like anime. I like manga." I was like, "Oh, you read manga?" No, I just watched anime.
Okay.
I'm like, "Okay."
Oh my God. Gilgamesh says it gets me is when someone's watching a video about a dog or a cat when there it is right in front of them looking for attention. And they need that social interaction. Even the cats, when I come home, I'll go around and touch each one on the head real quick just so they know that I acknowledged them, because cats in particular, man, they can get real jealous and they'll start scrapping with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. So to come by,
Uncle does it.
how you doing? Give him a scratch on the head. Hi Uncle, hi Daniel, how you doing? And so they all know, oh, he said hi to me. And it sounds silly, but watch what happens when you don't do it. Uncle gets real jealous,
Oh yeah,
man.
he get mad.
He'll if he see you petting somebody else and you didn't notice that he was there, he'll come flying across the room, broadside the cat, knock him right out of the way, and then stand in front of you.
Is letting kids use a cell phone like my mother telling me go watch
Yeah,
TV.
it's a pacifier.
Yeah, go outside and play. Get out
It's a pacifier.
Basically. Not just the
Yeah,
theater. People are on their phones during sporting. Why
yeah,
even go to the concert?
yeah.
That's why they'll say that they don't remember what happened at the concert
I've
because they're
heard
on
that.
the phone. That dude sounds weird. That's just it is.
It
He
is.
is weird.
That is sad.
And if you see him and you
That's
just
called indoctrinated, is what that is.
yeah. I mean, he's like, whoa, you can't, no, you can't win. So
You can't
nobody talks to him, but now he's offended because nobody talks to
him.
him.
Well, what the hell do
And
you
then
want?
when he asks, how come y'all treat me that way? Because
You did it
when
to
we
yourself.
talk to you, you're offended. And at work, we do joke around a lot and we say some off color stuff
Yeah,
to
okay.
each other. It's just three of us. We'll say something off color, but each one of us know, okay, that's it. Don't go no further than that. We know where the line at. You never cross a line, but you might say something that might be kind of like, yeah, that's probably not nice to say. You're in management, but we get it. Now you say that to him.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Why would you say that? Right, dude, you're gonna have us all in the office. We ain't going there.
William says he's 48.
William's 48. So you don't talk to people that's going to have you in the office.
William says he's too old to appease anybody anymore. I don't blame you. Marvel fans 52. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, now we get some
You're getting
ages.
older and older. Nerd says maybe the guy needs to chill and start collecting toys.
He reads no, I don't know if he reads anime. He watches anime. And it's him and another guy, David. All they do is watch anime all day long. Okay. So they bring the they watch Crunchyroll, and they have That's the name of the anime
Yeah,
app.
yeah.
And they one of them brought a bought a projector and they cast it to them and they watch anime all day, but they don't like each other, but they watch anime because they both like
So they're like a
anime,
married couple.
I guess. But they hate each other.
Oh God, Aaron
Aaron
is
is
51.
51. Custom
Custom
God is
58.
58.
Gilgamesh is 40.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just like stuff from the 80s. Okay.
Uh-huh. So next time YouTube tries to redesignate one of my videos as made for kids, you can let them know how old you are. John says he had a coworker of his at the hospital say the internet and social media can be used to enhance your status and personality. Really? It technically could, but it's not used that way. The World Wide Web was supposed to be a way for people to communicate with each other and
do research.
learn and experience and share knowledge and information. And people use it to play video games, watch pornography, and read about celebrity gossip. So, I mean,
And to trigger people.
they abuse the tool, basically.
Came Moon in his 30s.
See?
And anime interest gave.
There's nothing wrong
No,
with
you
anime.
said that you grew up in the 2000s.
Yes.
I remember you saying that.
And Johnny wants to know why people take a picture of the food.
Oh,
I have no
God,
idea.
I hate
Or
that.
feet.
That get on my
Yeah.
nerve right there. The
DC
doctor
is
is
58.
58.
Okay.
That get on my nerves. I identify as 32.
Uh-huh. Okay,
So
Edwin.
you're really 61.
Maybe. Severus says he is identified as a Gen Xer and the greatest generation ever.
David McNichol is 39.
Yeah, see? It still puts a median at about 40-ish. Robert went to see Deadpool Wolverine. They made me choose where to sit. That was so weird to me. Have to pick where to sit.
Yeah, that's the new thing now.
New thing, so people won't fight over seats. Because people
you don't fight over a seat if you was already sitting there first.
They did when we had that wheelchair.
But we had picked those seats though. You had to pick those seats, and that girl picked that wheelchair seats, which she shouldn't have been allowed to.
Frankenfrog is 32-ish.
Shouldn't have been allowed to pick that seat. But we're not going down that road again. If all they do is watch anime, they can't be a fan of manga if they never read one. Now, the one guy
some are different. He's saying, some are different.
Well, the one guy he does read manga because I took some of his manga books and he asked for them back, and I ain't giving him no books back because he shouldn't have gave them to me. But there's a couple of others. There's 3 others. That watch anime. They don't read manga. And the one guy swears I read manga, and I done told him 100 times these are not manga books, they're comic books. So his friend that's his age had to explain to him, those are not manga books. Because manga books you read from the back to the front. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's in the size, and it's like a graphic novel version of a
get
paperback.
It didn't matter what I told him. I showed him. I'm like, look, this is a comic book. This is totally different. Manga's Japanese. This is like DC. Couldn't get it. But the other boy told him you got to read it. Manga's read backwards. Oh, okay. And then he understood that. I'm like, oh.
Blue Splash says that he's getting strays there.
Oh, good.
Oh, are you taking care of them?
Go ahead. You can have some owls to add to your collection.
Johnny says his mother used to say, go out and play, don't come back until I call you.
Did she never call you?
Yeah, that's right. We're still waiting to go home.
52. Oh, 53.
Going on 54.
Feel like 22. Look like 32. I identify as 6. Okay. You got too many numbers going on.
William says he thought Crunchyroll was a food product. It is, but
well, there's an anime
they also
app.
Call it for anime, and Raccoon says they're turning 50
next month.
They're culling their collection to get it down to what they truly love.
Oh, I'm not culling mine, but I am going to take a whole different approach come 2025.
Yeah. What manga was it? Munin wants to know. Here we go.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Don't ask me because I didn't hardly look at it.
I don't remember, but and it was so stupid and it made me mad. And I told him, and you ain't never getting no manga from me, so you better cut it out. He brought the mangas to work, and I said, "Oh, who manga book?" So the other guy was like, "Oh, so and so brought these books. Say anybody can have them." He wanted me to have them, but I don't read manga. I don't like all that. I was like, "Oh, I'll take them. My husband read manga," so I brought them home and I gave them to David. And then weeks, I think a month passed by. Hey, you finished with the manga book? I'm like, what manga books you talking about? He was like, those ones that what's his name say you took. I was like, yeah, you gave them away.
I don't even know where they're at right now.
And he was like, no, I want those back. I was like, well, why did you give them away? I don't have them. I'll go
Yeah.
looking for them, but I don't know where they at. Let's see. Mangas are basic Japanese trade.
Yeah.
I
Trade
don't.
paperbacks that are like graphic novels because they have pictures, essentially. And John says, turn the young and tender age of
60 this
60,
March.
waiting on Mr. Teller, my boss at the press in Rome, New York, to send me my birthday bonus for being a former newspaper boy. Really? Nerd says he got manga in 93. It's in Japanese. I still have not read it.
Ralphie's Funhouse finally mailed out my Funko.
Okay.
Oh, good. Man, I was so worried because I went to that website and it looked just like
Apple.
Big Apple collectible. And I was like, no. So I went and I tried to see where it was coming from. And it said Walgreens. And I just went to Walgreens at 9 o'clock and bought
And
it.
Thor is here.
Hey, Thor.
He said, what do you think of the Dragon Man revealed at the con by Hasbro? That's that big figure that was next to Mr. Fantastic. We showed it on Friday. It's interesting looking. It's going to be a large figure. It looks like it should have been a Build-A-Figure, actually.
Japanimation. I don't know what
Anime, Japanimation, and manga.
But
okay.
K Munin is answering. Oh, go ahead.
Manga is the book version.
Okay.
Okay. Anime is also Japanimation. Japanimation is what they used to call it.
Oh.
Like when I was going to the shows, like the comic conventions and stuff in the late 80s, early 90s, they called it Japanimation and they switched the terminology. Okay. Like if I was watching Star Blazers in the 80s, they would have referred to it as Japanimation instead of animation. And they, like I said, they've changed the terminology to something that I guess is less stereotypical.
Is Speed Racer or
Gigantor? Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's anime.
Yeah, and the original anime, of course, would be, I believe it was Astro Boy, which is going way back.
A coworker of mine never talked too much, but I kept talking to him anyway. Then he started talking to me. Now I regret it. He won't shut up.
Won't shut up.
You're right. I'm 61. Are you serious? I was just guessing and playing.
Gilgamesh says, what do y'all think of the Sesame Street NECA?
I'm waiting to see the packaging. If the packaging is right and it's not the fold over box, the box that open and close. If it's just like a card, I might make a move. But if it's the box with the flap, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to pass. They look good though, but for me, it's gonna have a lot to do with the packaging because of course I'm not gonna take it out the box. I got a lot of NECA stuff, and I don't know. I guess I can say I kind of regret getting them. I like the box and the picture on it, but I want it open. I want to be able to see the
you can't display them open.
No, you got it. And I do. Well, when I did have them up, I had them closed and they were fine. You just look at the artwork on the outside, but I don't really care for that much. So I don't want that. Is it bad when you buy a book titled Dummy's Guide to Procrastination? You never get around to reading it? I think that's pretty bad.
And David said, do you ever hear see Sky Surfers Strike Force? Is that the is that the toy line where you pull the string and they spin around off like a helicopter?
Hmm. My wish as a kid
Okay,
was to be an adult.
okay. John says it's strange when you have a birthday party when you're an adult compared to being a child. My wish now is to blow out my candles without suffering a stroke. Okay. I don't know. I never had a birthday party.
Oh, really? Dollar Tree has Sesame Street figurines with a collector's card. I got Oscar
Okay,
Big Bird.
interesting, says
Really?
William.
I'm gonna have to go look and see what they look like. I love the reaction Sesame Street. I hope they make
Okay.
more waves. Need Big Bird and
And Snuffleupagus.
Snuffleupagus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stick with my and you can see them right
Yeah.
there. Those are my 1982 Knickerbocker 1/12 scale Sesame Street mixed media,
I'm kind of hoping NECA makes it look
like
similar to that.
these, like these.
Yeah. Or on a card with the whole picture and all of that going on, kind of
Hmm.
like what they did with the Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that would be
If it's
nice.
like that, I am definitely on it.
So we'll
But if
see.
it's in
We'll
that
see.
flat box, I
And keep
gotta
in mind those are
pass.
straight up and down action figures. There's no soft goods on the NECAs.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
You
on the
said that
NECAs.
the other day.
But hey, wow, we went way over because we're almost at three and
Three
a
and a
half
half
hours.
hours.
Yeah, I
Wow,
know,
you was going.
and I know we haven't eaten yet,
No.
so it's getting late, so we really should go ahead and wrap up. But hey, hope you had a what's that? One more here from Union. Never having a birthday party really bums me out. Sorry to hear. My mother wouldn't do it.
No.
She well, I've talked about it before. We don't have to get deep into that,
I
but
had birthday parties. I had
yeah.
a 16 birthday party with the DJ and
Oh
everything.
wow, that's
Yeah,
nice.
put out flyers. A lot of people came.
But
People I
yeah,
didn't know.
she didn't do birthday and Christmas, so
Yeah.
that didn't happen for me. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping things up. Glad you all could join us.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you had a good time.
Yes.
And share some conversation with us. But we're gonna go ahead and sign off, and maybe we'll get a chance. Oh, watch out for the video tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll put up the retro tomorrow, and I'll put up the Legion Con probably Monday.
Yeah.
So,
And like I said, I'm gonna start doing
mhm,
my vinyl record hauls and showing my vinyl record collection on my
yeah,
channel. So
yeah,
if you're not subscribed, go over there, Lady Pop Hunter,
yeah,
on YouTube, subscribe, and you can see those. And I'm gonna start putting out more content, just to put out more content.
yeah.
So y'all have that.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and sign off, and we'll do this again sometime soon.
Bye.